or whatever that we're on Facebook?
No.
Oh, if you don't see a light on there, that means my Facebook's not on. It's got to be a green light, and I'll go through it. Yeah, I was at a sports bar right after I worked at Heinz Field. I got to see the last part of the regular game and then the extra innings. And about 30 seconds before Vasquez gets in the batter's box, I said to my friend, boy, this reminds me of 75 with Carlton Fisk. He's a catcher, extra innings, he puts one over the left field wall. A few seconds later, a catcher, not named Fisk, Vasquez, put one over the wall. I guess only the ninth catcher to do that in a walk-off. But that was unique, Ray. Ray, are you there?
Carlton Fisk.
Yeah. He used to get into it with a guy named Thurman Munson. That was good fighting, man.
Absolutely.
And I like Thurman Munson because he had, oh, I can't say it on the air. He had guts. You know what I mean?
Thurman Munson is buried in Canton, Ohio. I learned that when I went to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. That's where he's from.
Yep. And you know how he died in Canton, don't you?
I do. Plane crash.
Yeah, and I guess he didn't have that many hours. Come on, Thurman, if you're listening above or whatever, come on. You should have taken more classes or whatever, but I guess it was his time. All right, the Steelers. Can you give me, off the record? No, you know it's on the record when I tell you that. Can you tell me what you think about Juju Smith-Schuster? Out for the year, or can he come back after being on IR? What's the story?
No, he's headed to IR, and he is out for the season.
Oh.
Mike Tomlin mentioned after the game yesterday that he was being evaluated, at the hospital. And anytime you hear that for an injury, it's pretty serious. So yeah, the news today is Juju's done, and they better hope James Washington heals from that groin injury that kept him out of the Broncos game, because they're going to need him to be their number 3 receiver for the rest of the year.
Now, did you do your homework? Did you ask somebody if it was soft tissue?
They got plenty of soft tissue injuries, I know that.
Devin Bush got hurt too, right?
Yes, he did. That's a soft tissue groin injury.
There we go. Yeah. I want soft tissue brain surgery. What do you think of that, Ray? I got to find my brains first. All right. They looked like, at times, the old Steelers. Then they looked like the current Steelers late in the game. I really didn't think Denver would come back, but you just don't know. I thought with, Bridgewater, was Bridgewater over troubled water or whatever, the Ohio River, he's not the kind of guy that wins games for you. I mean, I liked him in college, but yeah. What'd you think?
24-6, Bill. I thought the Steelers would be able just to, sort of drive it home and put it in the garage, so to speak. But they just, the Broncos kind of winged it. They started going forward on 4th down, I think, early in the 4th quarter. They were just a desperate team. And there's a stat I looked up after the game. Teddy Bridgewater had 232 of his 288 yards passing after halftime. So it was a much different game in the second half than it was the first half. Luckily, the Steelers were able to hang on. I'm sure they don't want to make games like that as close as that one, but hey, that's the NFL, and sometimes you got to just squeeze one out, and that's what they were able to do.
Yeah, and by the way, I want to pat myself on the back. I do it about 5 times a year when I'm lucky. I just did it. See that, Wade? I said before the start of the season, after 6 games, okay, I think it was during the bye week, if they're 3-3, I think that's a good start for the Steelers. Then after that, it gets kind of nasty because 5 out of the next 11 opponents or whatever are division rivals. Was that a pretty good guess on my part?
Yeah, it is. I think it can happen, too. It's not going to be Russell Wilson, who's coming to Heinz Field on Sunday. It's going to be Geno Smith. And, listen, they get to 3-3. Maybe they can get a little bit healthier, get some guys back. Cam Sutton missed that game with a groin injury. We all saw what happened to James Pierre. He got burned on that touchdown, so they could use Cam Sutton back. They could use Stephon Tuitt back.
Yeah.
Maybe he's able to get healthy, and they can get him after the bye. So, yeah, I mean, you got to beat the Seahawks at home this week to give yourself a chance at relevancy in the second half of the season. And when you face a backup quarterback like Geno Smith, your chances improve a whole heck of a lot.
Yeah, we have a good football team here named Shadyside, right? And they're one of the best in the area. I think their defense is better than the Seahawks. They basically stink on defense.
Yeah, what are they? They're like 30 or 31 or
Yep.
32,
Yep.
like in every.
They're in the 30s, yeah. They stink. Of course, they've had a couple extra days off. They have an advantage not playing a Sunday afternoon game after going from West Coast to East Coast. Not an excuse, but I think they like the idea of 8:20 instead of 1:05 kickoff at Heinz Field. But I think the Steelers will win. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the Seahawks aren't off to a good start. I think a lot of people thought they would be better.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what people thought of the Steelers. I think the Steelers are kind of where a lot of people thought they would be at this point, 2 or 3, or maybe 3-2. But yeah, it's a situation where they have to get to 500 if they want to give themselves a chance to stay in contention, and that's why Sunday night is such a big game.
Did Cam play yesterday? I didn't see his number called.
Who's that?
Cam Hayward.
Oh, Cam had an awesome game. He batted down 2 passes.
See, I don't get to see the whole game. Go ahead.
Yeah, see, but he gets double teamed, and he doesn't put up a lot of stats. He didn't have a sack. He only had 3 tackles, but he controls that game from the inside. And yeah, I thought he did a really good job. Now, that defensive line isn't the same with Tuitt and Alulu out. I mean, they really missed those 2 guys. I think that affects Hayward's performance, and that's why he's getting double teamed so much. But I still thought he played really, really well, even though he didn't put up a lot of stats.
Yeah. When's the big guy coming back, Mr. Banner?
He is eligible to come off again this week. If he doesn't come off IR this week, he has to come off the week they have the bye. If he doesn't come off the week of the bye, then he'll revert to IR for the rest of the season, and he won't be able to play again until 2022.
This may be good news with Juju. Tell me if you agree or disagree, because I like to do that with you. Juju's done for the year, right? He's going to be, 26, 27?
Yes.
What teams? Will they be jumping for joy that he's a free agent? Or maybe, time and luck is not on his side, and he could re-sign with the Steelers if he doesn't get the big money elsewhere. Because there weren't a whole lot of people stepping up to offer him big money, other than Baltimore, right?
Well, yeah, Bill, that's true. But if you're the Steelers, do you really want Juju back? I mean, he came back this year. They used him really in the same way. They've used him a lot in the slot as a possession receiver. Maybe it's time for them just to get younger. You're probably going to want to sign Deontay Johnson or Chase Claypool to a second contract. I don't know if there's going to be enough money for a guy like Juju Smith-Schuster, even if he does come cheap. So, I don't know. I think it's been a good run for Juju here. I just don't know if he comes back. And then if you look at it from Juju's side, Bill, why does he want to come back if they're just going to use him as a possession receiver? Maybe he can go to another team, put up better numbers, and then he can get a better contract.
Yeah. Well, they got to take care of Minka and Hayden, too. Hayden, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I sound like the network guy that screwed up Najee Harris's name 50,000 times.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, they got a lot of worries. My good friend Omar, he is the guy that's the bean counter. I should have him do my taxes. He's got a lot of work cut out for him, but that's in the off season because, if Mike Tomlin picks his nose, that's a big story of the day. So the Steelers always know how to make headlines with PR. They're the best at it. So is the National Football League. Okay, we agree that Seattle should be a W. Then they have a long rest. Then things get a little bit tough with some road games. And I also see them beating Chicago and Detroit. So there's already 5 wins, right? I like to look ahead.
What do you think about that Halloween afternoon game in Cleveland?
Wow. I don't know. Is that in Cleveland?
It's in Cleveland. It just gave up 47 points.
Yeah.
To the Chargers. So.
Yeah. Boy, I felt bad for that Charger guy missing that field goal.
They came back and won, though.
Yeah. I think Herbert is very underrated with the media. You always hear about the KC guy. You always hear about Josh Allen, You always hear about Tom Brady, and you will as long as he throws 4 or 5 touchdowns a game for an old man. But you hardly hear, about Herbert. And I think, first of all, I understand through my L.A. guys, he's cocky and arrogant. That's what you need in a quarterback, like a young Johnny Unitas.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, I love it.
Especially if you're a quarterback. You can't have a passive personality if you want to be a quarterback.
Yeah, that's true. But I enjoy watching him, I don't want to see an L.A. Super Bowl, although it's going to be in L.A. Probably the network folks like that. So, yeah, what I mean. All right, well, we can say goodbye to Mr. Schuster. I hope Devin Bush is okay, but injuries are a big part of the game. And Seattle, they have more than Russell Wilson out of the lineup. I think there's like 3 starters on defense gone, 2 young rookie guys on offensive line. By the way, I won't say informant, but a reporter who covers Denver walked into his area that's off limits to everybody. I got to make sure only NFL people are allowed in there. It told me that he had talked to Mike Monchak, because this guy is a Penn State guy, and they were talking about Penn State and that tough loss to Iowa, and he said, oh, by the way, don't you think the Steelers could use you for their offensive line? And he goes, in my opinion, they played very well today. So there you go, hearing it from a Denver. I wish he was still here.
Yeah, he's a great guy. And listen, he took that job so he could be closer to his daughter and his grandchildren.
Yeah, good move on his part.
He did it for a reason. It wasn't like he left for, just to go get another job.
Yeah, he's got a great resume. I'm sure he's made his first couple $1 million early in his career as a Houston Oiler, and great Penn State player. And but I miss him. And I think some offensive people, I don't know. These guys are young. They're only going to get better. But who knows? It's like Chuck Noll would say, you got to take it one game at a time. Boy, did he say that at every game, man. One game at a time. Well, what about your next opponent? Well, we got to check over the film on Monday. Okay. They're at film sessions today, right? On Mondays?
They do. They had some Zoom calls before those film sessions. So
did Ben talk?
It was Deontay Johnson and Henry Mondu.
Mondu?
Who got his first career sack yesterday.
Oh, I didn't know that. Mondu can do. Huh. Yeah, that's a nice nickname. All right, well, whatever. But I think Seahawk, boy, that's going to be a late game. I'll probably get home the next day sometime. Well, I will. But for Seattle, maybe there's a little break there. But on paper, they just don't look very good, especially without Russell Wilson on offense. In their defense, they'd give up. I could probably run for 100 yards. What do you think, Ray?
I think you probably could.
Yeah, I'd have to be on something, though, You've been watching the baseball games?
Oh, no, because I was working last night. There's 4 on today, though, so
yeah.
I'm hoping to catch 2 or 3 of them.
Yep, but that was pretty good yesterday. Another catcher, not named Carlton Fisk, almost the same situation, hitting a home run.
What is it about catchers and home runs? Remember Russell Martin against against that Reds pitcher? I forget, Johnny Cueto.
Johnny Cueto.
Yeah.
Cueto. That's what the fans. I got to ask you something. Wade and I got into this argument because we can. I do a lot of PA announcing, and when it's football, college, I do it. Larry Richard of the Steelers does it. All teams do it. You can hear it on the networks. I heard the guy in L.A., 3rd down and 11. Does that make you sick? I'm sick, but I got to do it.
You're saying they stole that from you?
No. Oh, no. If I got excited at Three River Stadium, I had Dan Rooney come over and said, Bill, we don't get excited. Do you understand? It's even. Oh, yeah, yes, sir, Mr. Rooney. But that started, about 10 years ago, I think, at a college campus. I hate it. I can't stand it. It's like you're telling the fans they don't know what down it is,
Yeah. No, it's just the same. It's like telling them they have to get loud. They should know to get loud, right?
All right, and here's another one. 1st down. And then the Steelers say, Steelers. Oh, give me a break. But they do it in Cleveland. They do it in New England. It's, what's next, I have no idea. It's all changed, I'm still 50s, 60s guy. I remember in the 60s, the games would start at 12 o'clock. The West Coast games would start at 3. After those 3 o'clock games, you could sit down and watch Lassie, Do you remember Lassie?
Those were the days. I absolutely remember Lassie.
Did your parents watch Lawrence Welk?
Yes, they did, Saturday nights.
Saturday
nights on WQED.
Yeah, I had to watch it because, we didn't have 2 or 3 TV sets, and in order, you didn't have a channel changer. You had to get up and change it physically. I had to watch Lawrence Welk because after that on Channel 11, WIIC. Why? Because we see you. They would have studio wrestling on. So I had to watch Lawrence Welk, although I fell in love with one of the Lennon sisters. I don't have her name, or else I'd text her. Well, no, she'd be kind of old right now. She wouldn't want anything to do with me. But I had to watch that guy play. Everybody had to smile on the Lawrence Welk show, Everybody smiled. The accordion player, the dancers, Bobby and Billy, or whatever the names were. And he was one of the toughest guys not named Ed Sullivan to work for.
Every Saturday night at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, the Lawrence Welk Show. A 1 and a 2. How do you like that? Have we covered all bases, getting back to baseball?
I think we have.
Yeah.
I think we have.
What are the Yankees doing today? Golfing, bowling? What are they doing? Do you know?
They're on the golf course.
Okay, all
They're
right.
probably there for another 4 months.
You know, I'll text you if Aaron Boone gets fired.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah,
That might be happening soon.
You think I like him after that home run he hit in 2003?
Of course not.
No.
They wouldn't dare fire a hero like Aaron Boone.
Why is he a hero? Because his great uncle's Daniel Boone?
Because he hit that home run.
Yeah,
that
but
you're talking about.
that was against the Red Sox, and you hate the Yankees, don't you? Oh, Wade, you better not say you like the Yankees.
I like the Yankees and the Dodgers.
Where's your car parked? Out front?
You gonna key it?
Well, no, I can make a pipe bomb. Are you really a Yankees fan?
Yankees are my American League team.
Oh, that's it.
Dodgers are my National League team.
I was going to bring you breakfast tomorrow, but you ruined it, Wade. All right? No Abe McMuffin for you tomorrow. I'll fix you because I'm in charge. No, I'm not. Can you believe this, Ray, what I learned today? My producer filling in for Lola's a Yankee fan.
Leave him alone. He's a good man.
Just ask him. Hey, Ray, you're a good man. Thank you for the insight on the injuries.
All right, Bill. I'll talk to you later in the week.
And I enjoy having fun with you, and sometimes we can get serious about sports, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, have fun. I'll talk to you later in the week.
All right, I'll see you, Bill.
Wade, I'm going to throw up. I thought I knew everything about you. They made a musical out of it. Damn Yankees fan. I don't believe this, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Somewhere in his office, Biff has a bottle of, what's that cinnamon stuff called?
I'm not sure
Wade?
if I know what you're talking about.
It's cinnamon tape. Fireball. He's got a bottle of Fireball somewhere. I'm going to raid his drawers, his office drawers, and find that bottle, and by 2 o'clock, I'll be gone. Wade, my guy, used to be my guy, a Yankee fan. Oh, who's your favorite Yankee of all time? Maybe we'll agree on this.
Reggie Jackson,
mine's
Mr. October.
Mine's Joe DiMaggio. Foster brother, you know? But I like Yogi Berra. He was one of the greatest interviews of all time. I have that somewhere. I should play it. He was just so funny, making mistakes left and right, you know? And his book's real good. You ever read the book, Yogiisms by Yogi?
No, I've heard a few. They're priceless.
Oh, yeah, he was priceless. What, he have 10 World Series rings? He had about as many as my favorite basketball player of all time, Bill Russell, who had 11. 10 as a player and 11 as a player coach, so whatever.
I've only become a Yankee fan tied to the decline of the Pirates.
Oh, but you couldn't become a Red Sox fan, huh?
Oh, no.
Why?
Well, I don't need to tell you about Boston. You've lived there.
Oh, I got that. Yeah, and I was there when they had a lot of racial tensions, yeah. I could tell you stories on that. I might save that for my book. Some things haven't changed, by the way. Bill Russell couldn't buy a house in downtown Boston. Why? You put two and two together, folks. Same with Jim Rice. He had to live out in the suburbs, and he probably paid cash for his house. But you know the rest of that story. That's one of many, many things wrong with this great country, and it's still great because I have the freedom to talk about it. Yeah, the USA. I still love it. We'll be right back with the Yankee guy.
Guess who just got back today? Them wild-eyed boys that had been away haven't changed, had much to say. But man, I still think them cats are crazy. They were asking if you were around, how you was, where you could be found. I told them you were living downtown, driving on the...
From ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. What is known is for the fourth day in a row, hundreds of Southwest Airlines flights have been canceled. What's not clear is why.
The canceled flights have become a political debate. Some, including Senator Ted Cruz, have claimed Southwest is canceling so many flights because pilots are not showing up for work because of the airline's new employee vaccine mandate. But the pilots union and the airline say that's just not true, that it was bad weather in Florida on Friday mixed with air traffic control and staffing issues that all compounded into the system taking a hit. And now crews and planes are in the wrong cities, and it's taking them a while to untangle.
ABC's Alex Stone. Spies foiled Navy scientist Jonathan Teebe and his wife, charged with trying to sell restricted data about billion-dollar Navy submarines. More from ABC Chief Justice correspondent Pierre Thomas.
The FBI claims this is a stunning case of attempted espionage by a nuclear engineer from Annapolis who worked for the U.S. Navy. And the case involves divulging secrets about some of our most sophisticated nuclear submarines, the Virginia-class fleet, which cost $3 billion each.
Court records said one package sent to an undercover FBI agent contained a letter that read, "I believe this information will be of great value to your nation." It continued, "This is not a hoax." Union workers at tractor maker John Deere appear ready to strike after voting down a new 6-year contract with the company.
Deere says its offer of on average 5% wage increases would have made its employees' pay among the best in the industry. Now, the workers have overwhelmingly voted down the contract offer. They counter that the company has been raking in record profits over the past year and that its CEO got a 160% pay increase to about $16 million.
ABC's Sherry Preston. Workers also angry about changes in pension and health care costs for future workers. No word on when a strike vote might be held. Benson Kipruto of Kenya is the winner of the pandemic-delayed 125th Boston Marathon in the race's return from a 30-month absence. You're listening to ABC News.
Paid for by the American Hospital Association. The COVID-19 pandemic has highlighted many of the pressures and challenges facing hospitals and health systems. At the beginning of 2021, half of hospitals had negative margins, the result of significant volume declines and increased pandemic-related costs. Many hospitals were already facing headwinds due to lower reimbursement rates, increasing prescription drug costs, and competition from tech disruptors. A new report shows that partnerships and mergers are a necessary response for some hospitals and can provide benefits to patients. The report's author, Ken Kaufman.
The COVID-19 crisis should encourage all stakeholders to reevaluate the gaps in the nation's healthcare infrastructure. Hospitals will need continued flexibility to seek partners as they work to recover from the pandemic's impacts on their staff, operations, and financial health, and as they prepare for a very uncertain future.
To view the full report and learn more, visit AHA.org.
A late-season tornado touches down in Oklahoma.
The warnings were sounded early in the weekend. Sunday night could bring severe weather to Oklahoma and Texas. The threat was realized in Coweta, Oklahoma, when a possible tornado touched down. Police Chief Mike Bell is urging townspeople not to venture out.
We're asking that you stay out of the area, and you can come back later on today once we get done and we get everything cleaned up and everybody's safe.
Several buildings were damaged. The power is out. Only one person suffered minor injuries. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
As the congressional investigation into the January 6th insurrection ramps up, there are new details about former President Trump's actions on that day. In his upcoming book, Betrayal, ABC Chief Washington correspondent Jonathan Karl sheds new light on a video put out on January 6th.
Trump told his supporters to go home, but he also praised them.
We love you. You're very special.
In Betrayal, I revealed that a source who was with Trump when he made the video told me that Trump recorded multiple versions that were deemed unacceptable by his aides because he praised the rioters, but he didn't tell them to go home.
California is now the first state in the country to require large department stores to put up gender-neutral displays. It doesn't ban the typical boy and girl sections in stores, but requires that they add a gender-neutral section. The law applies to retailers with more than 500 employees. This is ABC News.
Still looking for that one special voice that makes you fall in love with podcasts? The One is out there and free on Spotify. With over 2 million shows and today's most talked about podcasts, Spotify is the best place to find that one special show that makes you laugh, keeps you interested, and keeps you listening for more. Whatever you're into, get way more into it with a podcast. Find the one you've been listening for right now, free on Spotify.
Dave Packer, ABC News.
TOL TV. I'm the storm tracker, Darnell Foster. With a look at your local weather forecast for your Monday. Plenty of sunshine with just a few clouds. A daytime high near 81. Partly cloudy overnight, 62 for the low. Clouds and sunshine mixing for your Tuesday, with highs in the upper 70s. Have a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog.
Came from synthetic opioids like fentanyl.
Before, you'd have to worry about doing drugs that you might get addicted. But now, by trying any drug on the street, whether it's pill form or powder, you're risking your life.
Michael Tater in Defiance.
And a former Cleveland City Council member convicted of stealing from the city and federal government will spend several years in prison. Eric Brown reports.
75-year-old Kenneth Johnson was convicted in July by a federal jury in Akron on numerous counts, including conspiracy to commit federal program theft in connection with stealing over $125,000. According to Cleveland.com, Johnson admitted that he made mistakes, but that he did not purposefully break the law. Johnson, who had been on Cleveland City Council for 40 years, was sentenced to 6 years in jail and forced to pay about $745,000 in restitution. Eric Brown, ONN News.
And I'm Daniel Barnett on the Ohio News Network.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
I'm Darnell Foster.
Now it's time for Bill DeFabio on AM 1600 WKKX, The Watchdog.
There is nothing wrong with your television set. Do not attempt to adjust the picture. We are controlling transmission. If we wish to make it louder, we will bring up the volume. If we wish to make it softer, we will tune it to a whisper. We will control the horizontal. We will control the vertical. We can roll the image, make it flutter. We can change the focus to a soft blur or sharpen it to crystal clarity. For the next hour, sit quietly and we will control all that you see and hear. We repeat, there is nothing wrong with your television set. You are about to participate in a great adventure. You are about to experience the awe and mystery which reaches from the inner mind to the outer limits.
Everywhere is freaks and Harris, dykes and fairies. Tell me where is sanity? Tax the rich, feed the poor. Tell there are no rich no more. Population keeps on breeding, nation bleeding, still more bleeding economy.
Like Ball of Confusion, one of my other rant songs. Ball of Confusion, about what, 50 years old? This song, about 50 years old. Change a couple of words and the lyrics are the same. Take away my First and Second Amendments, and I'll try and change the world in an evil way, but we won't go there. I'm going to go this way, I abuse a lot of my baseball experts because I can. They're good friends and we work together, okay? Kevin Gorman of the Tribune Review, which I can't get in Washington, PA, Kevin. Can you have somebody send it to me?
I can't get it in Pittsburgh, PA. I can't get it delivered to my own house.
Yeah, and I understand what the postal system maybe deliver newspapers soon. They delivered when I lived in Bentleyville, PA. All right, then I moved to Cannonsburg. I mean, we got the newspaper in the mail. That's not good news because
my first job was as a paper boy, so I'm all about bringing them back.
Yeah, oh yeah, I was a paper boy. That lasted a month. There was this lady I didn't like. She was very wealthy. She never tipped me at Christmas time, which you should if you're work newspaper, whatever. She always gave me a hard time, so her evening Pittsburgh press always ended up in her swimming pool. Gee, I overthrew the porch. And then I got fired. Whatever. All right. But that's my newspaper story. Oh, I didn't like her. Her first name was Ella.
So out of character for you, Bill.
Well, yeah, I mean, treat me nice, I'll treat you nice. Don't treat me like I'm garbage, But, hey, I had a good arm back then. That swimming pool was way behind the house. I used to throw the paper over the roof into the swimming pool. And then Steve, I'll call him Smith, took me aside and said, you know what? No more newspapers in the swimming pool. I said, okay, I'll try and put on the porch. No, you're not a carrier anymore. Wow. And I was making about 6 cents a paper, okay? Which as a kid, 50 papers, a couple of bucks a day, it was worth it.
No doubt.
Yeah, but I don't know what happened to that lady. But she wasn't very nice. You got to be nice to the post office man, UPS guy, Just be nice to people.
I've been a postal carrier, too. I was what they call a casual carrier for a summer.
Yeah, my son's doing it, and he's going through orientation of 2 years. Oh, Dad,
I like both of those jobs.
Dad,
Going out for nice walks.
Yeah, my back hurts, Dad. Hey, Anthony, you're 29. I would do it. I mean, I used to work for Cameron Coca-Cola lifting 16-ounce Cokes like 5 high, and my bosses were lazy, so I had to stay there a couple of hours every day continuously. That's when we had Fresca, Tab. Remember Tab?
No doubt.
Yeah, it was a diet drink, wasn't it?
I don't know if it was diet, but
yeah,
they might have had both.
Now, if I was a free agent, like right now I'm a free agent, I could do anything I want. You can fire me, I'll get a job tomorrow, or I could quit today, have a job tomorrow. You know what? I was a free agent then. I could have worked across the street at Royal Crown Cola. You remember RC?
Sure.
But my bosses at Cameron Coca-Cola was good friends with my great uncle who got me the job. So, I didn't want to stick it down their teeth. And Pete Cameron, I'll never forget, I used to say, Pete, I'm tired. He'd hit me in the ribs. He said, how do you feel now? Today I sue his butt. You know what I mean? And he said, I'm going to let you know something, Billy boy. You're here part-time every summer. You don't want to be here the rest of your life. And I've seen people that's been there like 30 or 40 years. Truck drivers, they can barely walk and stuff, but whatever. But you know what? If my son plays it clean, he's got a job forever.
Yeah.
But you don't know with young people today. So you were a newspaper carrier?
Yeah, first job.
Pittsburgh Post-Gazette or Press?
I did the Press, the afternoon.
Yeah, I remember. They used to have morning and afternoon, right?
Yeah, my brother did the Post-Gazette, so we had both routes.
Wow, that was cool. That was cool. Yep. Now I get the Post-Gazette on Thursdays and Sundays. When's the Trib published during the week?
7 days a week still.
Oh, come on, man.
I think we're the only paper in at least southwestern Pennsylvania that still publishes 7 days a week.
Yeah. Well, I have friends that work at the Globe, and they're all worried about their jobs. Who's going to read newspapers in 5 years? Not my kids. Who's going to listen to the radio? My kids can't even spell radio because, but they can spell cell, as in phone. All right, let's talk about baseball for a second. I was a little bit upset, but I know how nepotism works. It doesn't work in my business because nepotism never opened the door for me. All my relatives are in Italy, and they can't spell nepotism. But I had guys like Joe Gordon. You remember him? He opened doors for me. People in Boston opened doors for me, and I'm still networking. But I think Mr. Cora, and you're going to tell me why he got fired, maybe he'll get a job with his brother Alex in Boston. What do you think?
That would be a good landing spot for him. I mean, certainly would be a nice soft landing in terms of falling upward.
Yeah.
I can't explain why Joey Cora got fired. I have my theories, obviously. One would be that he was one of the holdovers from Clint Hurdle.
Yep, not one of my guys. Not one of my guys.
Yeah,
and I'm the boss.
Exactly. This is a guy whose contract, extended past, perhaps. Perhaps they wanted some continuity on the staff, though. That Joey Cora is a guy who, as a native Puerto Rican, he can speak both languages.
Yeah.
He can speak Spanish and English. So I think that's a valuable thing. I also think that he has great experience. Not just as a third base coach, but also as a bench coach.
Yeah.
So I think with Derek Shelton having a mostly young staff, to have a guy who was a little bit older than him and has won a World Series as an assistant coach with the White Sox, has played in meaningful playoff games as a player, has been an all-star with the Seattle Mariners. I think he was a valuable assistant on his staff. The question is, was he a good third base coach? And that's up for debate.
Yeah, didn't he allow like 19 runs? I don't know what it's called, what category.
Thrown out at home.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it was 17 or 19, but whatever it was.
19, I think.
Yeah, 19, but I think it was 17 maybe 2 years ago. But he was he was a guy who gave a green light. The windmill was often going. And sometimes that was good for the Pirates because they had to be aggressive to generate runs. But also it had its moments when he sent runners like Jacob Stallings and Colin Moran, who were known to be slow-footed, that he would send those guys home sometimes. And to disastrous results. There was a game in Philadelphia where Colin Moran got thrown out by a mile. So sometimes I think that could be held against him. On the flip side of that is the Pirates had the fewest errors in the major leagues, and their infield had a lot to do with that. And the infield improved play in the infield by Kevin Newman, in particular, who had a 76-game errorless streak to start the season, is a real credit to Joey Cora.
That's right.
Something that Kevin Newman gave Joey Cora credit for. He said, I spent a lot of time sending him videos, getting feedback, and asking for drills. And I've watched Joey Cora work with the infielders during batting practice, where he would take, a ball and have them do lateral drills where he was throwing the ball side to side. And they had to, quick reflex moving side to side to get that baseball. He also had strobe glasses that he would use with the players.
Yes, he
that
did.
would kind of be like flashing lights that they would have on their sunglasses.
Yeah.
And that would kind of cause them to have to really concentrate on the baseball because there were distractions going on. So he did like little drills like that with the defensive players. I would say defensively, the biggest error of the season was probably, there were two of them. I don't know that I could pin either one of them on Joey Cora, although, one certainly is going to fall under his, kind of hit the guys that he coaches. But two, obviously Will Craig chasing Javier Baez back down first base line was just a boneheaded play, and one that essentially drove Will Craig out, not only out of the major leagues, the Pirates demoted him, but he also left, the United States and played overseas the rest of the season. So it was kind of a devastating play for a young guy like Will Craig, who kind of had lost prospect status, a former first rounder, graduated from prospect status, and still hadn't really proven himself as a major leaguer. The other one would be the fly ball, the pop fly that Wilmer Defoe dropped. That the ball, I think it was a walk-off hit, but it was a ball that the wind got under him a little bit, but he just didn't get under the ball. The wind got under the ball, but Wilmer Defoe did not drop the pop fly.
That was another bonehead.
I don't know that you could blame either one of those on Joey Cora. I don't think defensively that the decision was made for that purpose. I think this was more Derek Shelton probably wanted his own guys.
Yep, that happens.
And you're seeing Cora and Rick Eckstein. Both were fired this year. Eckstein in late August. So. Yep. He's going to bring in his own hitting coach and perhaps his own third base coach.
Yep.
And, but I will say this in Joey Cora's defense, a good guy to deal with. I never saw anybody so proud to wear a Pirates uniform as he did on Roberto Clemente Day in 2020. When he was the first Puerto Rican player first Puerto Rican to wear number 21 since Clemente's death.
Yep.
And he took so much pride in representing that number, representing Roberto Clemente for the Pirates. And so that was one of those moments that you really saw, a different side of Joey Cora, a side. And we also saw a humorous side. I don't know if you remember, like late in the season, like the last weekend of the season, I think it was Jacob Stallings hit a line drive that went foul and almost hit Joey Cora, and he ducked to get under it and basically laid flat on the ground like he played dead. And it was a humorous moment on the final weekend of the season. So Joey Cora had his moments. I just think that all the runners getting thrown out at home was something that was going to be held against
19's a lot. That might be 19 runs. I don't know. Well, you know what? I don't feel sorry for Will Craig because I think he's related to Jenny Craig. So he's probably got a lot of money, right?
Yeah, Will Craig had his chances, and to some degree, it was frustrating because I think he had his best minor league season in 2019, which was also coinciding with Josh Bell hitting 37 home runs and having 116 RBIs. So to some degree, he kind of got buried in AAA at the time, and there was really no room for him. And then when the Pirates traded Josh Bell, at that point, Will Craig, they tried him in right field and different things. So he was a guy who just, he didn't hit when he came up, and that's what they drafted him as a hitter. Yeah. And that was his reputation, was as a hitter. And so for Will Craig to not hit when the Pirates needed him to be a hitter, because he was a fantastic, that play aside, fantastic defensive first baseman. He was a Gold Glove winner in the minors. This is a guy that his defense kind of spoke for itself, with the exception of just kind of a brain fart.
You know what? This would make Alex Cora upset. Maybe the Yankees are going to fire Phil Nevin. We know why. for sending home somebody maybe he shouldn't. Joey Core gets that job, and he's got to go up against Alex. How about that?
Now that would be interesting.
That's a story. And it was
That would
Alex
be
that
fun.
taught Cora when they were young, real young. They played baseball, and Alex taught Joey. Joey taught Alex a lot about baseball. So he credits his brother for his success in baseball. So whatever.
Yeah, and if the Red Sox were to make a run, Alex is going to have a little more say. He got his job back, and so now he has a little more say, perhaps maybe a little more power to flex his muscles if he wants his brother. They wouldn't necessarily have to hire him as a third base coach. He could hire him
bench coach.
He could hire him as an infield instructor. He could hire him. There's ways to get your brother on staff if that's what you want.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see. But I always had good interactions with Joe. He was the kind of guy.
Funny guy.
He wore this miniature glove that he would practice with. And one time I asked him, I'm like, would you ever played with this glove? And he's like, no, my glove was like 8.5, 9 inches. This is only like 5.5 or.
But I remember number 21.
It was basically something that you could use to get the infielders to be, not let their glove do the work, but they actually had to do the work. But he was a guy that was interesting to talk with.
Yep. We got about 7 minutes. We could take 7 minutes talking about this. Did you watch the Red Sox last night?
I did.
Did you ever see that kind of play, ground rule double? I know it's a rule, but to me, even though I like the Red Sox, I thought the Tampa Bay Ray guy was almost to third base before the ball landed. And then it ends up in the bullpen, but I guess that's the rule. You got to go by the rules.
From everything that I've read about it, and I've tried to read as much as I can, it appears that the rule is that had the lead runner, I think it was Diaz, had he been around third base, they would have given him home plate. He would have scored the run. But because he hadn't rounded third base, he hadn't gotten third base,
yeah, that's right. I'm visualizing that,
That's why he had to hold up at third as a ground rule double. I'm a big believer in that. Yes. Does it come across as unfair? Sure. But life's not fair.
No.
Let's be honest here. They played it by the rules, and this is what the rules stated. It may have cost them a run, but it didn't cost them an out. They still had their chances to advance those runners, and they failed to do so.
Yeah.
And then, the other part of it is it could have scored one run on that play, but it wouldn't have guaranteed them to score two, and they ended up losing by a 2-run homer. I feel like, to some degree, we've allowed the narrative to change it so that the storyline coming out of that game is the ground rule double instead of the 2-run homer.
Yeah.
That was a walk-off. That was absolutely amazing because the announcer had just put the words out of his mouth where he said, 7 catchers in Major League history have hit walk-off home runs
Boom.
In the playoffs, and he said, make that number 8. I mean, it was amazing that with the very next pitch, the swing of the bat, and it was a no-doubter, over the monster. And so just a thrilling game. And I turned on the White Sox game after that and watched some of that one. I didn't stay up for the finish of that one, but I saw basically another controversial call go on there. And so,
Is that when the umpire fell on top of the catcher?
Yeah, but the play was that Yasmani Grandal hit the ball to first base and ran inside the line, basically in the grass, and the throw clipped him on the arm and affected that play at the plate where Robert slid into the umpire. Yeah. And so it affected the throw. And so really it should have been batter interference at the very minimal. And the runner should have returned to third base. Although, to me, I think the White Sox and the Astros, I think the Astros have a bigger grievance that a run scored as opposed to the Rays having a run prevented because it didn't cost, the White Sox got away with one essentially is what happened, and people can look at the rules and say, well, the rules don't call for that. But I mean, it was clearly he was running, a left-handed hitter running inside the grass made no sense other than that he knew where he hit the ball and he wanted to interfere with the throw and was successful in doing so.
Yeah. Well, one of the few times I thought I was right, okay, because I have been wrong, once in a while you're wrong, spending 42 hours covering sports. About 15 seconds before the announcer talked about the catcher and so on, I was at a bar and I said, this smells like a Carlton Fisk Game 6 75 World Series. And some of the young guys said, huh? And I said, this smells like a catcher coming up, and boom, about 20 seconds later, it was history. But more has been said about that call about, the double play and all that, not double play, but the ground rule double than that home run. Even if Tampa scores a run, they're down by 1 and they lose by 2. So, what?
Exactly. And even if they score 2 runs, the Boston still has the last word.
Yeah, and they're still playing.
They're on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, they still have to play the bottom of the ninth. So to me, I mean, I understand the controversy, and it was certainly one of those plays that you looked at and you said, wait a second, how is that a ground rule double?
Yeah.
But that's the way it is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a shame, and now people are calling for the rule to be changed, and I'm like, hey, it was an aberration. I don't think anybody could try to do that if they were attempting to. I don't know if a player could go up and play the carom off their leg as well as that one played.
We
It
won't
just
see
was
that
kind of
again.
a
I don't think
happenstance.
we'll ever see
No.
anything like that again.
No, but it reminds me. I don't know if you've ever watched the television series Ray Donovan.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was a scene where Ray Donovan, the kid asked Ray Donovan why he used wooden bats to beat people up, and he said, aluminum bats could do a lot more damage. And he said, did Pudge Fisk use an aluminum bat when he hit the ball?
Whoa! Can I use that
was a
later on
great
another
comeback.
venue and take credit for it? No, I wouldn't do that. I give you credit. Hey, by the way, this just in from Associated Press. Not UPI, because there's no. Is there still a UPI, United Press International?
I'm not sure about that.
Because I used to work for them too. Here we go. The game 4, Houston-Chicago, canceled because there might be some bad weather for that game. There you go.
Wow.
Chicago, the winds must be blowing off the lake. Whatever.
Huh.
So, in your mind,
so there's only 3 games to play today. Today's the Marathon Monday.
Yeah.
So.
And it's Boston Marathon too today.
Exactly.
Yeah. So who's going to be in the World Series, in your opinion, although we're way, way off the beaten path?
Boy, it's so tough to predict. There's a part of me that would like to see some different teams in the World Series. So I'm going to throw out a prediction that I think that perhaps the 2 best teams that are going to be there are going to be the San Francisco Giants would be one, just based on the season that they have.
Milwaukee Brewers the other?
The Milwaukee Brewers would be an interesting pick. The Milwaukee Brewers are in the National League, so they couldn't be against the Giants. But that would be
that's right.
That'd be an interesting pick.
Right.
Well, they used to be an AL team, so I'm with you there, because you know my favorite Milwaukee Brewers player of all time is, right?
You're going to tell me.
Gorman Thomas. Come on.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He was a big guy. He either struck
my
out or
favorite's Robin Yount, but the best name was Gorman Thomas.
Yeah.
But
well, he either struck out or hit a home run.
Yeah, he was like what was the guy that played for the Giants?
Kingman?
Yeah, Dave Kingman.
Yeah.
he was that type of a guy.
Have you heard the interview, the X-rated interview with Tommy Lasorda when a reporter asked him? I thought it was a legitimate question. What'd you think of Dave Kingman's performance? Well, what do you think? Well, I can't go because I have to go beep, 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 beep. That's when he had 3 home runs and drove in 7.
I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall that day.
Oh, I would have loved to be the reporter and have Tommy hit me, then I could sue him.
Loved to have been in that room on that one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Baseball's, it is a great sport to watch because you never know. You never know what's going to happen because there's really no time limit, no overtime limit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of time there's
human
human error.
Things where we ran out of time. Time does not factor in to the outcome. The game is going to be decided how it's going to be decided. But I'm trying to think of the Giants. There's still a part of me, I think the White Sox are kind of dug themselves a hole, but there was a part of me that wanted to see the White Sox, especially after watching that Field of Dreams game.
Yeah.
So I still think the White Sox are a little bit of a dark horse. I don't know if they can rally off of that one.
Yeah.
But I'd like it to see somebody other than, say, the Astros and the Dodgers. Somebody new get in there. The Red Sox would be fine by me. I think they're a fun place. Fenway's one of the. If you're a baseball fan, Fenway's a place you got to watch a game.
Yep.
You got to go there. I went to Fenway one time as a fan. I've been there as a reporter as well, but once as a fan, bought a ticket, and we got into an argument in our section, and the guys were arguing that they were playing Tampa Bay, and they were arguing that they had to walk Manny Ramirez and to get the bases loaded for Dante Bichette. And I said to them, if you walk Manny Ramirez, Dante Bichette's put one over the monster. And Manny Ramirez is one of the best hitters in baseball. Now, you can't risk pitching to Manny Ramirez. You got to. Bichette strikes out a lot. They walked Manny Ramirez, Bichette put one over the monster. Yeah. They all turned and looked at me like, what the hell? How do you do that? I didn't tell them what I did for a living.
Yeah, White Sox, I don't want the White Sox in because I'm not a big fan of Tony La Russa.
Yeah.
You know who I am? Give me a break, Tony. All right, whatever. It should be interesting. But the best news of the postseason? No more Joe, I'm the best West. How
about him still wearing the blazer? Did you notice that?
Yeah. Yeah, that's when he started a trend where the umpires think they're the big spotlight in the game. They're not,
Yeah. Yeah.
But whatever.
Ah.
He'll go down as a I grew up with a guy named Augie Donatelli. When he shouted like strike three, if it was a Forbes Field game, you heard him in Cleveland, you know? All right. I got to ask you, since I'm asking my colleagues all of this. I do it. Larry Richard does it at the Steelers game. All right? 3rd down and 11. Do you like that?
I'm all about it.
Okay, all right. I do it because I have to. I do it at college games and that. Hey, it's always a pleasure, and hopefully we can keep in touch. Maybe you can start a rumor that Aaron Judge is coming to Pittsburgh because Mr. Nutting says, let's pay for some good talent. Not.
Hey, you know what I'd like to see them get from the Yankees? And I'm not even saying this facetiously at all, Bill. There's a guy that I don't think that would ever pay for him, but I think he'd be a really good fit with the Pirates. The position he plays and what he brings to the team in both productivity in terms of leadership would be Anthony Rizzo. I think he'd be a perfect.
He's
fit
getting a
for the
little bit
Pirates.
old, though, man. He's like 36, pushing 37.
No, Rizzo. I think Rizzo's like 31 or 32.
You think? I want to see him in a Red Sox uniform.
Yeah, I just think that there's a guy that I'd take off the Yankees in a second. I mean, they're not giving up Judge.
No.
But I could see, somebody like Rizzo, who's a good defensive first baseman, brings some leadership ability, has won a World Series, is familiar with the NL Central pitching. I just think that's a guy that would be a great fit for the Pirates. But I don't, that's a pipe dream.
And he likes Pittsburgh because when he's in Pittsburgh, he always orders Franco Harris's pizza. You didn't know that, did you?
No, I did not know that one.
Yeah, okay, there you go. Yeah, Rizzo, first base. Yeah, I like it. He brings a lot to the clubhouse. He could be great with the young guys. He'd hit a few home runs. He'd be a fan favorite. All right, we'll start that rumor.
I'm with you.
Okay, thank you, man. Let's talk more during the off season.
Anytime. It's a pleasure.
All right. Another good guy I'm associated with. There's very few good guys around in our media, all right? If I took my shirt off, Wade, you'd see all the cuts from the backstabbing I took, all right? I'll never forget the one time I got fired at a station, next day I got a job. I'm walking out with my box because I was escorted by policemen, and I could hear one of the big mouths who I no longer talk to, and we won't tell you what I'd like to do, but he said, better DeFabio than us, huh? Yeah, better. I got fired than them. Whatever. That's our business. But it's that way in all businesses, you know? You get hired, you get fired. If you don't get fired, then I don't know. But I'm used to it, all right? I've done it all. Hired, fired, hired. That's what's been great about my career. I really have no regrets about anything I've ever done because I've done everything I wanted to do since I was 6 years old. How do you like that commentary, Wade?
You're a man's man.
Well, thank you very much. And I learned to hate the Yankees when I was about 9, and I still hate them, Wade, Ward, whatever. I'm going to call you Ward now. How's that? Can't believe, like, my show, he tells me he's a Yankee fan. Hey, that's okay. I like Jeter because my kid likes Jeter. He still wears number 2 necklace around his neck. Whatever. What I like about the Yankees? No tattoos, no beards, very professional. You can't say that about the other baseball teams, all right?
How about that Giancarlo Stanton? He's sort of sporting a mustache, you notice?
Yeah, I saw that. I said, how does Steinbrenners allow him to grow a mustache? Must be in his contract he can have a mustache. I have no idea. That's your next assignment. Call the Steinbrenners at Yankee Stadium. I'll give you the number, and you give them hell, Wade. We'll be right back right after this.
The Metro News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Chris Lawrence. Another drastic drop in active COVID cases in West Virginia today. The figures from the DHHR show 757 new cases were added, but the total dropped by about 800 to 10,561. There were 41 deaths added in today's report. 840 are still hospitalized. Governor Jim Justice is addressing the media at this hour. His first COVID briefing of the week. You can see it live at WVMetroNews.com. A couple from Annapolis, Maryland, taken into custody Saturday in Jefferson County, charged with espionage. Jonathan Tebby, who's a nuclear engineer for the Navy, and his wife Diana were arrested for trying to sell top-secret information about the design of U.S. nuclear submarines to a foreign operative. Investigators say that information was being funneled out of the Navy through Tebby's position to what he thought was a representative of a foreign power. Turns out that person was an undercover agent for the FBI. They're due to be arraigned tomorrow in Martinsburg. Marshall hosting candidates for president starting today.
The 5 candidates meeting the Marshall community as officials determine who is best to succeed Jerome Gilbert. Gilbert will leave the institution next July when his contract expires. Each candidate will stop at the Huntington and South Charleston campuses. Public meetings will take place at the South Charleston Academic Center and the Arthur Weisberg Family Applied Engineering Complex in Huntington. Each meeting will be live streamed by the university. The first candidate coming to Marshall, Robin Hannigan, the provost of Clarkson University in New York.
That is Alex Thomas reporting. You're listening to Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. An accident in Pleasants County over the weekend left one dead. Authorities say it was a head-on collision on State Route 2 just outside the community of Belmont. The victim's name was not released. 2 Logan firefighters were injured battling a large structure fire Sunday. Those flames broke out at the Yuma Suites Apartments, a 4-story complex that was formerly a hotel. One fireman fell through the second floor, running a piece of metal through his foot. The second was on the roof of the structure and suffered a cut to his hand. Both were treated at the scene. Fire is suspicious. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Chris Lawrence.
AutomotiveMap.com presents the Sports Flash powered by the Score app on the WatchdogNetwork.com. The Green Bay Packers defeated the Cincinnati Bengals 25-22 in overtime, dropping them to 3-2. Joe Burrow threw for 281 yards with 2 touchdowns, 1 long one to Jamar Chase in the second quarter. He also threw 2 interceptions. Joe Mixon had a rushing score for the Bengals. Chase 159 yards receiving. Mason Crosby, though, hit a 49-yard field goal for the Packers that won them the game after he had missed 3 field goals on the day. NASCAR, Kyle Larson taking the checkered flag Sunday in Charlotte, winning on the Roval, the combination of the oval and the road course. Larson overcame early electrical problems to win for the 7th time this season. He advances to round 3 of the playoffs. Kevin Harvick, Christopher Bell, William Byron, and Alex Bowman were all eliminated from the championship. For lightning fast updates as news happens, download the Score app today. I'm Tony Desiri on the WatchdogNetwork.com.
Don't mind me, just sneaking out to go to Kohl's. The home deals right now, they're too good to pass up. Like up to 40% off Cuddle Ned's bedding, up to 50% off the cutest fall decor, and up to 25% off Ninja kitchen appliances. How can I resist? You can even get 15% off or 15, 20, or 30% off with a Kohl's card. So yeah, I'm going all in for fall, and I can't even wait. Select styles. Offers end October 17th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
I need tech that leaves my hands free during my work day and my workout.
It's possible with Staples Connect.
I need tech for my home office that makes it easier to work from home.
Also possible because Staples Connect has the innovative tech and tools you need to take on the future of work. And now Apple AirPods Pro are only $199. You save $50. Explore what's new at your local Staples store or staplesconnect.com. Staples Connect, the working and learning store. Ends 10/16, limit 2 while supplies last.
West Virginia Northern Community College will host its fall open house, both in person and virtually, on Saturday, November 6th, from 9 a.m. to noon. Both formats allow you to learn about programs, admissions, financial aid, and more. If you attend in person in New Martinsville, Wheeling, or Weirton, you can also tour the campus. Everyone participating in Northern's open house could win a $1,000 scholarship. For more information, visit wvncc.edu.
I'm Andrew Saul, Commissioner of Social Security. Beware of telephone scammers pretending to be government employees. Real Social Security employees will never threaten you. Callers threatening you with arrest or other legal action and demanding money are not from us. If you receive a call like this, hang up, do not provide them with any form of payment or information. Report the call at oig.ssa.gov.
Hi, it's Howard Monroe. When you join Brad Leonard and me weekday mornings from 7 to 10 for the Watchdog Morning Show, we'll have all the top stories of the day. We'll go behind the scenes with some informative guests giving you some interesting information. And, of course, some off-the-wall, off-the-beaten-path kind of issues and stories that you may not hear in the top headlines. Plus, your news, your sports, your weather, Zach Petty, Bill DeFabio, Tony Caridi. We're just your morning breakfast club, getting together and chewing the fat. Hope you'll join us weekday, 7 to 10, the Watchdog Morning Show right here.
Welcome to your life.
Everybody wants to rule the world. Why? Would you want to be the ruler of a country? Would you want to be the king of a country or queen? And forget the queens. Would you want to be the president of the United States? Would you want to be a dictator somewhere? No. No. Because most of those people I just mentioned don't want to work with people. It's all about politics. Left, right. People ask me, what are you? Well, I'm right-handed. That's all I'm going to tell them because it's none of their business, all right? I don't think West Virginia's going to lose this weekend because they don't play, right? Is it a bye week for the Mountaineers? I think so. But if you're betting, and how many betting commercials are we going to see on TV? By the way, was a football game last night? I do things like this. I always keep a notepad next to me. I write things down so I can talk about it. Without the notepad, I forget what the heck I wanted to talk about. 8 commercials in a row. Some were short, some were not. 8 in a row. Oh, I know they got to pay the bills. Baltimore tonight at home should beat Indianapolis. Baltimore favored by 7. They win, they'll be 4-1. Didn't some of us give up on the Ravens when they injury list reached 14? But they got a good quarterback. He stays healthy. They're always in the game. Their defense is better than average, okay? And I like their coach. He's the only Harbaugh I like. I don't like the one in Michigan. You know, he's a wise guy. Penn State fans, I feel bad for you. You would have beaten Iowa at Iowa if the best player on your quarterback, didn't get injured, Clifford. As soon as I watched it down at the restaurant, I go, oh no, Penn State's going to lose, even though they were up, 17-3 or whatever. But I'm not going to take anything away from Iowa. You know, it's like their coach said, hey, it's a physical game. We play physical football. I hope their quarterback is okay, but that's the way we play. So it's like him saying, yeah, we kicked his butt. Iowa. When's the last time they were in the top 5, you ask? I researched that this morning, 1985. Okay? I like Iowa because they got the Steeler colors. If you didn't know better, you tuned into college football. Oh, the Steelers are playing. Yeah, black and gold? Okay. But Iowa, they have a great defense. Will they be in the top 4? I don't know. Alabama? I hope not. Okay, I know there are a lot of Alabama fans out there, but I'm sick and tired of Alabama and Saban and so on. Let's somebody else. Let's have new teams in there. You know? Iowa and Cincinnati in the top 5. When's the last time I said that? I don't think I ever said it. All right? As far as Sunday's NFL games are concerned, hey, the Steelers got a break. They won. They're 2-3. 2 of the top contenders in the AFC North both lost. They're both 3-2. The Packers defeated the Bengals. Okay? Combined, both place kickers missed 5 field goals. And what about the Browns? Oh, man. They had that one. I know they had injuries too. Come on. Come on, defense. But you got to like Herbert. He's so underrated. He's in my top 3, not in my top 10 like other people have been. All right? And then Kansas City. They look like they're beatable. Every time I watch them, are they beatable? They're 2-3. They're like the Steelers. That defense stinks. And how do you fix it? I have no idea. You know your star quarterback can't throw 5 or 6 touchdowns in a game. He's not Tom Brady. And Tom did it again. He's averaged, 4 touchdown passes a game? He had 5, 4, and 5. He's unbelievable. I don't care if he was playing against a bad team, Miami. He is unbelievable at 44. God bless him. I think he might be a Martian or something, you know? A Martian on steroids. You know, he watches what he eats. I love the commercials on Subway, though. You know, I'm going back to Subway because now they got deals. I got coupons, all right? And if he says they're good, I'm going to believe him. Of course, there are people in my business. I got friends that work in Pittsburgh. They seem to promote everything like Roto-Rooter. Oh, yeah, my friend Johnny comes to my house. He gives me a good deal. A roofer. Oh, you know, Louisa or whatever comes to my house. They all say that they do it all with all the people they promote, and they don't. Believe me, they don't. You want to hear a good story about promotions, Wade, Mr. Yankee?
Go ahead, Bill.
20 years ago, I was working at a radio station, and there was a Ford dealership down the road. They decided they wanted me to be a spokesperson for Ford. So for 6 months, all I had to do was their commercials. I drove a Taurus. They changed the script on me. I was supposed to say, this Taurus was the best car I've ever owned. Well, at that time, I owned like 11 cars, okay? My 57 Chevy was better than that Taurus. So I went to the manager, and I said, I can't say this because I'm BSing. Well, we want you to promote Taurus. I said, I can't do it. So we gave it to a guy who was a Ford guy. Settled that. But, you know, I don't promote anything, no matter how much you pay me, to promote something I don't like. But that's our business we're in. Pitt plays Virginia Tech. That's at no man's land. Virginia Tech, they don't usually lose at home, and I said that last week, and they lost to Notre Dame. Pitt is favored by 4. Pitt wins, they're 5-1. Hey, they go 5-1, they're in the top 60, right? Look at their schedule. Wrong. But they're going to get a nice bowl bid. Why do I have Cincinnati circled? They're 20 favored over UCF. All right, where's Ohio State? Are they off too? The Buckeyes and the Mountaineers are both off? Okay. Alabama will try and rebound. They should. They're favored by 17 over Mississippi State. But that's a loud crowd at Mississippi State, so who knows? If Alabama loses 2 in a row, I might be shouting in the streets of Washington. All right, that's about it as far as the odds are concerned. In case you missed it, number 1, Georgia. How about those Bulldogs? Number 2, Iowa. Those fans are crazy. What else are you going to do in Iowa? Walk through the cornfields and say, is this heaven?
I heard you talking to Lola last week about Iowa's uniforms. You know, they did send for the Steelers uniforms, and they copied them down to the thread.
Yeah, instead of the helmet, when you got the, what is that, a Hawkeye or a Eagle?
Well,
or,
Hawkeye instead of the Steeler.
Yeah, well, because, you know, the coaching staff and people like the Steelers. Those are great colors, by the way. Cincinnati, Wade's happy about this. He loves the Bearcats. Cincinnati, number 3. Oklahoma, number 4. Alabama, number 5. Penn State, after that tough loss to Iowa, they dropped to 7. Ohio State, number 6, okay? Ohio State, you know, I said Ohio State, Oklahoma, and what was the other school? Won't be in the Final Four. Well, I might be wrong on that one, okay? Might be wrong on that one. I don't care who wins as long as it's not Alabama in the final. I don't want them in the Final Four. I want different venues. Even though I love the Patriots, worked for them a long, long, long time ago, I got tired of them going to the Super Bowl every year. You know? I got tired of Tom Brady. Although I like him because we have something in common. We're both old. How much older is he than me, Wade? I don't know. Wade, let's go over the oldies calendar. You ready?
Ready.
Today's Columbus Day.
And also Indigenous People Day.
Okay, I can't spell whatever you just said, so that's okay. Hey, I thought my mother, when she came over from Italy with me in her belly, I thought she was on the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. Well, I found out a long time ago she wasn't. But Columbus was on one of those two. Yeah, a crew of 90 with 3 ships, Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria, landed on this island that I can't pronounce in the Bahamas. Then he ended up in the United States or whatever. There's some conspiracy, though. The Minnesota Vikings will tell you the Vikings were in America before the Italians in Columbus. In Cleveland, what used to be the Indians, people believe that the Indians was in America before the Italians. So, Wade, what do you think? Is there some fake news there with history?
No, I think it's pretty much proven
that Columbus
Vikings did land up in the New England part, Newfoundland area.
Yeah, and the Vikings haven't won a Super Bowl yet. Oh, we got to have fun with that. By the way, I found a new rant song. You know, if you listen to my introductions, songs that make sense from 50 years ago, I think I'm allowed to play it because I've heard it on other radio stations, so that my platform is safe. It was done by Buffalo Springfield, For What It's Worth. You know, there's a man over there with a gun. Everywhere I go, I can spot somebody wearing a gun. By the way, for all of you know-it-all gun owners, you know, like to brag about what you carry, how big it is and everything, don't expose your gun when you're in a restaurant or a bar. Keep it covered. Because if there's a bad guy there and he sees you with a gun, guess what? You're target number 1.
Columbus landed at Hispaniola.
Hispaniola? Is that like Pistola? Where's Hispaniola? Wait, I don't want to make you work, but where's that?
Hispaniola, it's down the Virgin Islands.
Oh, okay. All right. That's good. I don't know what to believe anymore as far as history is concerned, you know? You know, I think as I got into journalism, I thought I knew it all. I don't know a darn thing. I just pretend a lot, okay? All right, what birthdays are today? Dick Gregory. He was a comedian, wasn't he? Yeah, civil rights activist, born 1932, passed away in 2017. Yeah, he was a funny guy. Pavarotti, okay, opera star. I can't never understand what opera singers, what they say. I don't know. Glenn Beckert, all-star, great player for the Chicago Cubs, passed away in 2020. Born on this date in 1940, okay? Baltimore Colts, we don't care. Charlie Ward, I thought he was going to be a great quarterback from Florida State. Won the Heisman Trophy in 1993. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He was a great college player. But how many times we say greatness about college quarterbacks and they're not so great in the NFL? I don't have enough fingers or toes to count on. All right? And we'll go to, here we go. One of the all-time great songs as a kid, 1960, Mr. Custer. You remember that, Wade? Please, Mr. Custer. And then at the end, the Indian gets the guy singing. I love that song. Number 2, oh man, did I love Sam Cooke. And I loved him in college because everybody in my hallway was either Motown or Sam Cooke or Isaac. Oh, I loved Isaac Hayes. Isaac Hayes' live album is one of the best albums. Sorry, In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida. Dun, 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 dun. The album by Isaac Hayes live. Oh man, that was good stuff. They had Sam Cooke had a song called Chain Gang. The Drifters, saw them. Not the original. I think there was one original guy. Because, you know, most of these groups, most of the originals are dead. I saw the Drifters up at the doo-wop place, Capitol. I don't know how many years ago. They still sounded good. Save the Last Dance for Me. Yeah, good song. 1968. I am the God of Hell's Fire, and I bring you fire. The Crazy World of Arthur Brown. Now, if you ever see the video, while I have it right here for you, check it out. Google Fire by Arthur Brown. The guy's on stage and he lights his head on fire. Seriously, he's wearing a cap or something. He lights his head on fire and he sings Fire. Oh, O.C. Smith had a silly little song called Little Green Apples. Number 1, Hey Jude by the Beatles in 1968. Shall we go to 76, make you feel a bit younger? Number 2 was Lowdown by Boss Skaggs. Disco Duck, Part 1. I didn't like Part 2 either. Disco Duck by Rick Dees and a cast of idiots. I didn't make that up. That was the name of the group. Rick Dees and his cast of idiots. Rick Dees was a popular DJ in San Diego, and he came up with this stupid song that made $1 million, so God bless him. Why didn't I think of that back then? I could have done Disco Donkey, you know? But number 1 was a fifth of Beethoven, okay? If Lola was here, it'd be a fifth of Canadian Club. Whoa, I didn't say that. A fifth of Beethoven, Walter Murphy, and the Big Apple Band. All right. Let's do 1984, because I love Stevie Wonder. Little Stevie Wonder, then he grew up to be Stevie Wonder. Why don't they call him Stevie Wonder Part 2? I don't know, or Senior, how about that? He had the number 1 song, I Just Called to Say, I Love You. And Lola, if you're listening, I'm not calling you. Number 1, tied with number 1 with Stevie Wonder, Let's Go Crazy by Prince and the Revolution. Wade, did you like Prince?
Yes.
Okay.
Very talented artist.
Very, very talented. Okay? The wife went to see him. I didn't like him. She took her girlfriends. Stupid me, I paid for all 3 tickets at the time. And they weren't cheap back then either. I wanted to say happy birthday to Tony Kubek. I think he's still living. If Yankee fans, if you recall, he took a ground ball, got hit in the throat, took him out of the game. Then after that, Billy Mazeroski hit the home run. Kubek used to tell people the story, and I think he told it to me when there was a reunion at Three Rivers Stadium with the 60 Yankees and 60 Pirates, that Mickey Mantle, till the day he died, never forgot losing to the Pirates in 1960. Make no mistake about it, the Yankees were the best team. When they beat the Pirates, they'd win by 10 or 11 runs. The close games, the Pirates won, all right? But in the best game, maybe of all time in the World Series, Bill Mazeroski's home run, and I can still see Yogi Berra running back. It's a wonder he didn't hit his Italian head against the wall. And it's a home run. The city of Pittsburgh went crazy. Did I get crazy? No, I wanted to punch out my teacher for taking away my transistor radio that all of us were listening to. You know, it's like the top of the 7th, little Billy had his radio on, and the teacher took the radio off of me. That made a lot of kids unhappy. Today, that teacher would not touch me or my radio, believe me. But yeah, I'll never forget that. I was the only kid in the classroom that had the radio listening to the 60 World Series. And Mrs., she's dead now, I can mention it, Mrs. Schmidt, I think. Billy, what are you doing? You're not doing your arithmetic or your geography. I'm listening to the ball game. She grabbed my radio. She did return it later. Oh, that made me mad. Can you imagine if that happened to me today, Wade? You took a possession of mine in class, I would have every lawyer in that classroom and every parent there, you know?
No, I think I can see that happening today.
Yeah, yeah. Or else I'd hit her over the head with an eraser. Then I'd get paddled again. Oh,
cutting in the learning time.
I got paddled so much I learned to, hey, this is cool. Let's do it again. I was nasty as a kid. Chewed gum, wore holes in my jeans. Today, you pay $100 for jeans that got holes in them. What the hell's wrong with this country? And the jeans are made in what? Another country? Look at Nikes. When we had, I forgot his name. He hired me to do the McDonald's All-Star games at the Civic Arena. I can't remember. He would tell me that some of these Nike shoes before Jordan or whatever, they might cost $100, but about $3 to make in another country. Wow. Yeah. Okay. We got a couple more birthdays, right? Okay. Here we go. Glenn Miller. Nah, we don't want to talk about Glenn Miller. Did you like Red Fox, Wade? I have Red Fox CDs. Yeah.
Coming to see Elizabeth.
No, you got to swear. Most of his comedy routines, it was every other word was you know what, like Lenny Bruce. On this date in 1991, Red Fox suffered a fatal heart attack while on the set of his new sitcom called The Royal Family. He was 68. He was known in the 50s for his party album, Laugh of the Party. I have that on a record. Might be worth money. What was his favorite line? You just said it. Let's hear it, Wade.
I'm coming to see Elizabeth.
Yeah, I wonder if he did ever see him, you know? George Carlin, here's a trivia. Oh, no, I just gave the answer. DeFabio, you stupid. The question was this to you, Wade. Who was the first host on Saturday Night Live? A, Rodney Dangerfield. B, George Carlin. I just gave you the answer, stupid me. C, Don Rickles. D, Phyllis Diller. Would you have guessed George Carlin?
Yes, I remember the show.
Oh, okay.
He did his 7 words you cannot say.
Yeah. Well, pretty soon it's going to be down to 2 because pretty soon we're going to be allowed to say anything. I'm serious, folks. You know, I wasn't allowed to do betting in the 70s and 80s. I would get help from my program director. Gentlemen, you can't talk about betting, Bill. You can't say that the Steelers are favored by 3 over the Browns. You can't say that. Okay. Now you can say anything. Why? Because everywhere you turn the channel, it's betting. It's betting. It's well, I don't want to give them credit. It's the Fabio duel, you know? It's Wade in Vegas. You can bet on anything today. Red Fox, I loved him. George Carlin, loved him. By the way, also in that cast on the first Saturday Night Live, Chevy Chase, John Belushi, Dan Aykroyd, Gilda Radner, Jane Curtin. And the voice, you think I have a great voice. You know I have a great voice. Not as good as Don Pardo, okay? Oh, boy, we'll be right back. We having fun, Wade? We were having fun till you told me you were a Yankees fan. There goes our relationship. No breakfast tomorrow. We'll be right back.
You're gonna burn. Fire to destroy all you've done. Fire to end all you've become. I'll feel you burn. You've been living like a little girl in the middle of your little world. And you mind your tiny mind, you know you've really been so blind. Now's your time to burn your mind, you're
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
From ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. U.S. COVID cases dropping now in all but 5 states, mandates in many states being credited with upping vaccination rates. But those same mandates will also leave many of those opting not to get the vaccine out of work, and their employers shorthanded. Seattle nurse Sasha Davis.
I have colleagues who are not vaccinated. I have some who will be leaving our institution as of October 18th.
Others are leaving because they're spent.
We are losing staff. We have people who really can no longer work under the conditions we're working, which is we don't have enough staff. we're working really hard all the time.
Washington State's mandatory vaccination policy for state employees and healthcare workers goes into effect later this month. A U.S. Navy nuclear engineer and his wife charged with trying to sell naval data to another country.
Jonathan and Diane Tebby were undone in part by a peanut butter sandwich. It's where prosecutors said the couple concealed an SD card containing restricted naval data about design elements, operating parameters, and performance characteristics of Virginia-class nuclear submarines. Using encryption services, the Tebbys thought they were communicating with a representative of an unspecified foreign country who was really an undercover FBI agent. Court records said one package contained a letter that read, "I believe this information will be of great value to your nation." It continued, "This is not a hoax." Aaron Katursky, ABC News, New York.
Lots of cancellations on the board at Southwest Airlines. Over 350 today alone. Passengers stranded, and some like this one have had it.
Southwest has had issues before, and I've been flying American lately, so I'm going to stick to American.
The airlines sometimes citing weather or air traffic issues, though no other airline is suffering the magnitude of cancellations. Captain Kirk's flight to the Final Frontier has been delayed. The launch of the Blue Origin suborbital flight that the actor, William Shatner, will ride along with 3 others, delayed now until Wednesday due to high winds in Texas. You're listening to ABC News.
Slow is just right if you're on vacation, a sloth, or describing QuickBooks. More like slow books. It sucks you in and slows you down with manual processes, integration difficulties, and glitchy delays that leave you scrambling for the numbers you need. Now is the time to make the switch to NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 financial system, because NetSuite gives you visibility and control of your finance, e-commerce, and more. It's everything you need to grow all in one place. With NetSuite, you can automate your processes and close your books in no time, no matter how big your business grows. Failing to switch to NetSuite will leave you stuck trying to make sense of your books while your competitors sprint ahead. 93% of surveyed businesses increased their visibility and control since switching to NetSuite. And right now, special financing is back. NetSuite is offering a one-of-a-kind financing program only for those ready to switch today. Head to netsuite.com/sky right now. Get special financing at netsuite.com/sky. netsuite.com/sky.
A joyful reunion for the family of a 3-year-old boy who had been missing since Wednesday. A Good Samaritan joined the search and found Christopher Ramirez just a few miles from his home.
Christopher was said to be calm when they found him in that thick wooded area. And we are talking about thousands of acres of pipeline trails and just really rugged terrain there. That landowner hearing his voice and eventually calling police to the scene. This miracle in Texas has a lot of people so relieved.
ABC's Marcus Moore. London police say they won't take action against Prince Andrew after another review of sex abuse allegations.
There's nothing to see, move along. That's basically the view of London's Metropolitan Police in announcing they will not take any action against Prince Andrew after a review prompted by Jeffrey Epstein accuser Virginia Giuffre, who claims that the royal sexually assaulted her numerous times when she was 17. She's suing him in a U.S. court. The second son of the Queen denies the allegations. Tom Rivers, ABC News, London.
Facebook says it will implement new tools to increase transparency and safety. It comes after a whistleblower told Congress last week that the company ignored concerns about the impact of social media on teens. The company says the new features will prompt teens to take a break from Instagram and will nudge teens if they're repeatedly looking at the same harmful content. On Wall Street, stocks turning lower. The Dow now down 111 points. This is ABC News.
But we have a truck leaving with a big order on Tuesday.
Tina's floor manager retired, leaving her tortilla factory flat out.
What do you mean she's on a silent retreat?
She must fill the role and all those orders.
I'll oversee production.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Schedule virtual interviews and talk to candidates right from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Dave Packer, ABC News.
This is ONN. On the Ohio News Network, I'm Daniel Barnett. Wherever the governor goes in Ohio, he continues to encourage people to get vaccinated against the coronavirus. Kaylee Kirby with affiliate station WTOL-TV in Toledo reports.
Governor Mike DeWine says hospital data from the beginning of this year compared to where we are now shows how effective the vaccine is.
97% of the people who are in the hospitals today, 97% of the people who have been in the hospitals from COVID this year have not been vaccinated. what a horrible tragedy and what a horrible thing for that family to know that their loved one's death could have been prevented.
Kaylee Kirby reporting in Toledo.
And kids under the age of 12 may not have to wait much longer to get a vaccine. Angela Ann with affiliate station WBNS TV in Columbus has the details.
Later this month, an FDA advisory panel will discuss Pfizer's request to authorize its COVID-19 vaccine for kids 5 to 11 years old. Health experts are now estimating when parents could see that full approval. The former FDA commissioner says it is certainly reasonable for children under 12 to be fully vaccinated by Thanksgiving.
This should be available almost immediately after the CDC makes a final recommendation and be available in pharmacies and perhaps pediatricians' offices as well.
I'm Angela Ann.
For a look at state news anytime, visit ONNradio.com. I'm Daniel Barnett on the Ohio News Network.
304-214-1600. Call the Watchdog with your thoughts. We'll be right back to Local Talk.
Are you traveling? Working a little bit too much? Is your fur baby starting to get a little shaggy? Let Dirty Paws be your one-stop shop for all of your pet care needs. Stop in and see us at 202 18th Street or give us a call at 304-639-7754 to schedule your appointments for dog grooming, doggy daycare, and dog boarding today.
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the Watchdog trusts.
Hello, everyone, from the Watchdog. I'm the Storm Tracker, Darnell Foster, with a look at your local weather forecast for your Monday. Plenty of sunshine with just a few clouds, a daytime high near 81. Partly cloudy overnight, 62 for the low. Clouds and sunshine mixing for your Tuesday, with highs in the upper 70s. Have a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors. Now it's time for Bill DeFabio on AM 1600 WKKX, The Watchdog.
You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension. A dimension of sound. A dimension of sight. A dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You've just crossed over into the Twilight Zone.
So much colder then. My father was a soldier then, and times were very hard when I was young. When I was young, I smoked my first cigarette at 10, and for girls I had a bad yen, and I had quite a ball when I was young. When I was young, it was more important. More painful, and laughter much louder, yeah. When I was young.
Yeah, when I was young. Maybe I looked like Beaver Cleaver. Maybe I was a jerk. Maybe I was a geek. The junior prom, senior prom, 0 for 2. But you know what? I grew up on a farm, on a big farm. I learned to shoot a .357 Magnum. I used to shoot beer bottles like nobody could shoot beer bottles. And I would shoot other things too, but that's neither here or there. But when I was young, all I knew was sports, collecting cards and reading the newspapers. I collected baseball cards just so I could read the backs of the cards so I could learn about I knew what I wanted to do back then when I was young. DJ, when you were young, did you have a good youthful experience?
I think so. I guess when I was young, I dreamed of being in an NHL facility, and that's where I am today. So I guess life is good, right?
Well, yeah, but don't get stuck here. We want to see you in the NHL so I can drop your name.
There
Hey,
you go.
DJ Abicella's the voice of the Bruins. I know him. He can't get me tickets, but I love the guy. How about that?
That works. That fits the narrative perfectly.
How about my buddy? Is he with you?
He's getting his gear off from going on the ice, so he'll be with us shortly, I think. He's fired up about the game last night. I don't think he liked the ruling in the top of the 11.
Oh, yeah, he's a Yankee fan. What do you expect from a Yankee fan? What do they know? They just know how to lose to the Red Sox in big games.
Right.
You know, they know how to overpay the Garrett Coles, who gets paid $15,000 a pitch.
That's it.
You know? Put the guy on the air. I'll put him in his place. No, I weren't, because I got indirectly got to work with him.
Right, exactly.
You know, DJ? The Lord,
I know.
The Lord up above, or the devil downstairs with the horns.
Yeah.
Army better hope he doesn't get off to a bad start with me.
No, I know it.
You know? Even if you win 1 out of 3, I'd be happy, you know?
Well, I think that's going to be the big key is we start the year with 4 straight on the road against 4 different teams, and I think that's going to be one of the biggest things that we look at here at the beginning is making sure that we do get off to a strong start. Win some games on the road. There's a lot of momentum coming to the home opener on November 6th. I think you're absolutely right to look at those first few games and say, okay, that's going to be a very vital part of our season.
Oh, yeah, And when's your season start? Next Friday?
Next Saturday, we start in Fort Wayne. We have preseason coming up this Friday and Saturday.
Oh, man. And the Penguins start tomorrow, right? Aren't they in Tampa for the celebration?
Yeah, they do. So they practiced before us today. They were on the one rink from 11 to 12, and then we were on the other rink from 12 to about 1:30, 2 o'clock.
What rink were you at? Lemieux's place?
Yeah, we're at the Lemieux Complex in Cranberry.
By the way, I was at the old Isoplex. Last time I was at Isoplex, I was wearing wigs. All right? And it was a place to go. That was years ago. You know, the Penguins practiced there. I was there for a baseball card show. Yeah, you talk about a lot of people blowing smoke, what they were charging young kids and stuff. I wanted to say something, but I didn't want to go to jail. I was right on the ice, and man, it looks like it's 100 years old.
We're there tomorrow, actually.
Oh, okay.
Because they had bull riding at West Banco Arena this past weekend, so they need a couple extra days to get all the floor off, clean up all the dirt and sand and all that stuff. That way we can get on the ice. So we'll be back at West Banco Arena Wednesday. So we just had the practice here at Cranberry today and in South Point tomorrow.
I got to ask you a stupid question because I'm allowed one an hour. Here we go. So
there we go.
I need 2 more after this. Wouldn't you be a little bit nervous if you were Denny Magruder and you were in charge of West Banco and something would happen with the Bulls? Because from what I understand, if you just break one of those pipelines, you showed me, what, 7 together? Wouldn't that cause a problem?
I think so, but I think that's where you've got, we have a plastic covering that goes over the ice for the flooring.
Yes.
Then they put another wood floor on top of that, and then they have the sand on top of that. So pretty much in order to do anything, they have to go through 3 layers of something. So I think there's a little bit of an easier feeling with that sort of a build-up being the scenario.
Yeah, okay. All right, that sounds good. Lola said she had a great time there.
Good.
Well, perfect. She should have, because she was drinking a lot of whiskey and beer at where I was serving her, you know, at Riverside.
Yeah.
No,
I heard some of the players went too.
You want me to tell you that story or tell Army? Did you tell Army?
I did, and I found out who they were yesterday because they said when they came in here, they were actually talking to Derek and I about it and meeting you.
I'll wait till Army comes on the air. We'll have more fun
Well,
with that.
here he is. He just walked out of the coach's room, so I'll put him on the old earphone for you.
All right.
How much did you pay those umpires?
I used your salary.
Okay, that's fair.
It's the rule. Look at the rule book. You know about rule books, although you don't follow the rules in the ECHL, and that's okay. You want to move out of there to get up to the AHL, but it's in the rule book. So the umpires were right. I thought they were wrong, but if he would have went past third base, I think he would have been awarded home plate. But the rule sucks.
Yeah, well, that's fair. All I know is that was, those are the ones you take advantage of, and I can guarantee you Tampa Bay is going to look back and say our season was lost right there.
Army, we have a special guest in the studio. You ready? Yo, Frank! Frank! New York! New York! Yeah, how about those Yankees?
Okay, okay.
Start spreading the news. The Yankees suck.
I'm leaving today.
They left a couple of days ago. They're on the golf course.
I want to be a part of it.
They want to be a Yankees fan. No.
New York, these vagabond shoes.
All right, Wade. Hey, Army, DJ, I'm leaving the station. My producer in for Lola's Wade. He told me an hour ago he's a big-time Yankees fan. I can't work with a Yankees fan.
You can.
I'm going to take more sick days. No, I'm just not buying him breakfast tomorrow. Come on, you got to feel good about the way the Red Sox won. Come on, Army.
Bill, I'm leaving on that note, but you are going to come down at the end of the year after the Red Sox get beat by Tampa. You come down after we win the Kelly Cup, and you can sing New York, New York in the locker room.
You know what? If you win the Kelly Cup, I'll jump off the Statue of Liberty. I better not say. You know what? I better not say that. I was only joking for those of you listening because some turkey, I want to call him something else, will say when you win the Kelly Cup, DeFabio's got to jump off the Statue of Liberty. Okay.
That's going to be the front page tomorrow in the paper, Bill.
Oh, boy, oh, boy. Just win the Kelly Cup, all right? Get off to a decent start. I know you got 4 in a row on the road. You win 2 out of 4, I'll love you, man, you know?
You're the best, Bill.
Okay. All right, I want to say that about the Nailers. By the way, you know about the 2 guys I met at the restaurant.
Yeah, I did. They said you were a character.
Yeah, well, I am a character. I'm also a jerk. But listen, and we were talking, and then I said, what do you guys do? Oh, we're hockey players. Oh, I thought I figured that. Where do you play? We play right here in the Nailers. And I goes, you know DJ Abasella. And they looked at each other. Who's that? Now, how do you not know DJ Abasella when you're on the team? DJ, Army? Answer that.
They know DJ now.
Okay, all right. Are they good players?
Really good players.
Okay, you going to bring some players up once in a while?
Yeah, for sure. I was actually going to ask you to meet up for a drink.
When, tonight?
Not tonight. I'm on dad duty.
Oh. Hey, as Pedro Martinez said to the Yankees, I'm your daddy. No, you're my daddy.
That was a good time in our career.
Yeah, that's okay. Things will only get better.
Yeah, well, Bill, you take care of DJ, and you come down and get a sweatshirt here soon.
Yeah, no, a hoodie.
Yes, a hoodie.
I want something you would wear with pride.
Gladly. I'll give you that for sure. You come down, I'll have it waiting for you.
Well, you know, you get off to a bad start, I'll wear it on Facebook inside out.
Well, now you don't get one.
Hey, Army, it's going to be a pleasure working with you whether you win or lose, because I know it's just a game, and you're working real hard to bring a winner to Wheeling because this city needs something to celebrate, you know?
Yeah, of course, Bill. I really appreciate that, and I agree. We'll give them something to be happy about.
You know, and I want to drop the puck, too, by the way.
DJ's not in charge of that one. I can't help you there.
All right. And, you know, when you have the parade, I guarantee you, Frank O'Brien tells me everything's going to be cool. Main Street will look beautiful. You know?
I can't wait.
All right. Take care, Army.
Bye, Bill.
Okay, DJ, you still with me?
I'm still here.
Okay, we're going to take a break, DJ, okay?
All right, perfect. Sounds good.
We'll be back with DJ without Army right after this.
Good work.
This is Hoppy Kercheval. Join me weekdays at 10 o'clock right after the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe or Talkline. I have guests, conversations, texts, phone calls on all the big stories affecting us in West Virginia. So tune in weekdays right here on FM 98.1 and FM 97.7, The Watchdog.
West Virginia Northern Community College will host its fall open house, both in person and virtually, on Saturday, November 6th, from 9 a.m. to noon. Both formats allow you to learn about programs, admissions, financial aid, and more. If you attend in person in New Martinsville, Wheeling, or Weirton, you can also tour the campus. Everyone participating in Northern's open house could win a $1,000 scholarship. For more information, visit wvncc.edu.
Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to Jim Robinson at the Highlands, home of lifetime powertrain protection. Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to Jim.
$3.5 trillion. That's the cost of the reckless spending plan President Biden and the Washington extremists are rushing through Congress. Their socialist plan will bankrupt America and force West Virginia taxpayers to foot the bill for abortions, even painful late-term abortions. Thankfully, Senator Joe Manchin is standing strong, opposing this reckless spending spree and taxpayer-funded abortions. But Senator Manchin is under enormous pressure from Washington liberals to cave to their extreme agenda. Biden and Pelosi are intent on forcing West Virginians to pay for abortion on and feel excruciating pain. West Virginians need to thank Manchin for standing strong. Call Senator Joe Manchin at 202-224-3954. Thank Manchin for opposing Biden and the socialists in Congress. Tell him to stand strong against their plan to bankrupt America and force West Virginians to pay for abortions. Paid for by Susan B. Anthony List.
WKKX and WVLY. Voted coolest couple in their high school yearbook.
Oh, there's something so real about living local. And I know without a doubt I'm not alone. And I love living local. There's nowhere else I'd rather be. Said I'm loving living local. WTRF is working for me. The Ohio Valley is where I love to be.
There's something happening here, but what it is ain't exactly clear. There's a man with a gun over there, telling me I got to beware. I think it's time we stop, children. What's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. There's battle lines being drawn. Nobody's right if everybody's wrong. Young people speaking their minds are getting so much resistance from behind. Every time we stop, hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down.
One hit wonder for Buffalo Springfield. Lead singer you just heard, I think it's Stephen Stills, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young. Then they had a breakup. Then they got together again. I think they're all together. I'm not sure. One of the better concerts I went to. Okay? All right, but yeah. I want to get back just to the guns for a moment. I grew up with a gun, okay? I don't have the .357 Magnum my uncle used to teach me with, but I still have his .22 rifle and a 12-gauge shotgun. Almost in perfect condition. You know, and back then I think the .357 Magnum was like $20. The shotgun was like $12. This is back in the late 50s, okay? Now, since I work with a lot of females out there, because me and a couple of Navy SEALs, former Navy SEALs, we have classes for women. They buy big guns. They don't know how to use them. They think with a big gun they could shoot somebody in the leg. And we got to teach them you got to kill somebody if you're going to shoot them. Because if you don't, you'll get sued. So take gun lessons, ladies and men. I work with a lot of law enforcement, and they even tell me, you know, I should go to the practice range. Go to the range, know the rules. There's a book like $14, I think you can get at Cabela's. It has the rules, where you can carry a permit, whatever, can't carry a permit in a state of the United States. Get that in case you're traveling. Because if you're not aware of some of the rules, like North Carolina, they're strict, Virginia's strict, okay? South Carolina's strict, all right? You got to be very, very careful. You can't have your gun in your car, you got to put it in your trunk. Learn all the laws, because a lot of them change by the day, okay? And practice, 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 okay? Know the law, all right? Okay, here we go. We're going back to DJ. DJ, I almost forgot about you. Did we lose DJ?
Nope, I'm still here.
Oh, I thought you got a job with the Wilkes-Barre team. Okay.
No, still kicking.
Yeah. Well, we want you to get out of here. We want you to We want you to move up so we can say we knew you and you did a great job. And hopefully, if you move up, you won't have 8 jobs to do, just one broadcasting. How's that?
How about that? Yeah. Can you believe it? Year number 11 for me with the Nailers this year.
Have I known you that long? Well, I've been here 11
Yeah.
years. I was only supposed to be here 1 year. Then I found out, wow, this is a great place where I can rant. Okay. 11 years. Where were you before here?
I was in Lewiston, Maine.
Yeah, that's right, Maine. Is that where they have a lot of syrup trees, or is that Vermont?
That's Vermont.
Okay. Well, what's Maine noted for?
Lobster.
Lobster. Okay. Lobster. Okay. All right. So let me get this down straight. We got your Nailers will be in Fort Wayne to celebrate their trophy win, right?
Yes, next Saturday night.
And then the Penguins tomorrow night will be in Tampa, where I hope they watch it. It's incentive, watch it. We could have been those guys. They'll be watching the Tampa Bay raise the flag and hoist the cup. I don't know where the cup is now. It might be in Australia, but I've been to a couple of those, and they're very, very interesting.
They've got quite the start, obviously without Crosby and Malkin, but they've got to go the defending champions first in Tampa.
Yep.
Then they go to Sunrise, or they'll play the Florida Panthers, who are an up-and-coming team. And then they have to come home, and they get Marc-Andre Fleury and the Chicago Blackhawks, and then they get Dallas, who is a Stanley Cup finalist not last year, but the year before. So they've got an interesting run of games to start the season.
Yeah, you're right there. So, well, I guess, oh boy, here we go. You're not surprised, are you? There's a rumor that the Astros were cheating in Game 3.
It seems to be par for the course for them, right?
Yeah, reliever Ryan Tepera on the White Sox, he said, quote, they've had a reputation of doing some sketchy stuff over there. We can say it's a little bit of a difference. I think you saw the swings and misses tonight compared to the first couple of games at Minute Maid. He was very careful not to actually accuse the Astros of cheating. He didn't even say the word cheating, and that's a good thing. Leave it to the reporters to screw things up, because there's no real evidence that the Astros cheated. Then why is he bringing this up? I have no idea. Well, the Red Sox were unhappy with the mound in Tampa.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of things to be unhappy with in Tampa, those idiotic catwalks. That's kind of, I thought last night was kind of the karma for them. You have all those catwalks and playing all those crazy rules with that thing. It's like, well, there you go. You can deal with our short bullpens.
Hey, have you ever been at that stadium?
Tampa? No, God, no.
It's awful.
So I've heard.
One of the worst was Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. It was like a little erector set. No, I take that back. The worst football was one that was built in 1971, I think, because the Patriots used to play at Fenway Park and Harvard Stadium. They built this erector set. Schaefer Stadium, named after the beer, which sucked. But, it was cheap, so I bought it all the time. It was like the Iron City beer of Boston. But it was called Schaefer Stadium, built for $1.2 million. It was an erector set. All those metal seats, give me a break.
Yeah.
Give me a break. But that was one of the worst
Jimmy Dunn
football.
had the great quote on Twitter last night. He goes, Tampa can't complain because they're playing under a circus tent with more rules than a mini golf course.
Yeah, yep. So, there's your payback. The crazy angles at Fenway Park.
Yep.
Another memorable night.
But now who on earth pitches tomorrow, or tonight rather?
I heard a rumor that there's a Louis Tiant clone coming there.
Oh, good.
Who was the guy who had blood in his socks?
Schilling.
Yeah, he's coming back.
Yeah, I heard Erod's starting. I wouldn't be surprised if they get ahead. Well, I mean, I guess Martin Perez would be next up, and then if they get ahead, maybe try and go Tanner Houck to take it to the finish line, because you can't mess around with the Game 5. Like, if you get a chance to close it out tonight, you got to do it.
Close it out. Get 6 runs in the first inning if you're the Red Sox,
Right.
And when you take it from there, if they win against Tampa, which had the best record in the American League, I like my chances against the winner of the White Sox and Houston. How about a Red Sox-White Sox?
That'd be interesting. We saw that, in the first round of 05, I think?
Yeah, okay, when White Sox won yeah. You know what I'll wear when I watch the game?
What's that?
We had an affiliate with the Washington Wild Things. When we had the pod? The Washington Wild Things had 4 teams. Well, Joe Torre, not the manager of the Yankees or the general manager or works commissioner, there was a team, baseball team, named the Black Sox. Joe Torre, you would pay Joe Torre to play in these games. What a scam. But he taught you the game. He was a good teacher. So on the last day, when he forgot to take me out for a beer, which he was going to pay for, He gave me a Black Sox jersey and a Black Sox hat, one of the real
That's cool.
expensive ones. So I may wear that. So in my sports office, I'll see the White Sox and the Red Sox. I'm wearing the Black Sox hat. How about that?
I was kind of hoping the White Sox would beat the Astros. One, like you said, they've got all the they just have that history the last few years of just always being around the scandals and the cheating and stuff. But it's kind of making a memorable year for the White Sox since they played the whole Field of Dreams game this year and they won that. Like, you know, just kind of at least win a round out of it.
Yeah, well, you know, the worst interview, not named Larry Boa or Frank Robinson, Tony La Russa. Yeah, Tony, I know who you are. He should be ashamed of himself telling that to a policeman. Do you know who I am?
Hey, what do you make out of the NL series? Because they're both 1-1 switching venues now going into
Milwaukee.
Game 3 tonight.
Milwaukee, the city of beer. You got to root for the Brewers.
They can pitch. Holy cow.
Yeah, but
like
their
that
best
Burns
pitchers,
kid?
their best pitchers hurt because he punched something, because he was drunk. Williams, remember that? How stupid can you be?
Yeah, but they got that Burns who threw game one, and it was absolutely lights out. That kid is one that has flown drastically under the radar, and I think people are finally taking him seriously.
And remember, I'm a big Christian Yelich fan. Why?
True.
Because I saw him play in Washington, PA, as a member of a Pony League World Series team that finished second.
How about that?
He was skinnier than this PNC Bank pen I'm holding. Why do I give him a plug? Because every time I go to the bank, I borrow a couple of these pens. We need them here, you know?
Yeah, you do.
Plus
and then
we
you
have-
got the Giants and the Dodgers in the other series.
Giants.
Ooh.
Although the Dodgers, I like Mookie Betts. I like Brian Roberts, you know. But the Giants are cool. And, you know, their manager, they fired him in Philadelphia because he sucked.
I think that's the probably the biggest 106-win team I've ever seen fly under the radar ever.
Yeah. Remember when he was at the Red Sox in 2004?
Dave Roberts? Oh, heck yeah.
No. The manager of the Giants. He played for the Red Sox.
Oh, Kapler. That's right.
Well,
I forgot
they
the Red
had
Sox
him,
were
and the guy next to him wore 18. So they both stood, looked up at the scoreboard, and somebody took a picture of their rear ends, 1918.
Oh, my God.
How about that? Only I
That's
would remember
unreal.
something stupid like that.
I hear Wade laughing in the background, the Yankee fan himself. I love it.
Oh, the hell with Wade. He's a Yankees fan. You're not supposed to like him.
No, I know. I like that he's getting into it. That's good.
Yeah, well, we'll get into it because I can outrun him in the parking lot. Wade says, take a break to Fabio. When Wade speaks, I listen. We're going to take a break.
It was a rough weekend to be a Mountaineer fan. Hi, everybody. I'm Tony Caridi. That story is coming up on today's Mountaineer Report, brought to us by Kroger, the official grocer of WVU Athletics.
At Kroger, fresh groceries are our thing. So we do freshness checks on the items in your delivery order at every step of their journey from our farms to our stores. And pick and pack every blue, raz, and strawberry in your free pickup order with the utmost care. Because we believe in treating your food the same way we'd want ours to be treated. It's the golden rule, only for like fresh fruit and stuff. Order now using the mobile app. We're fresh every day, so shop anyway. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Free pickup on orders of $35 or more. Restrictions may apply.
42 million Americans struggle with hunger, yet 35% of the food in this country is wasted. Those aren't just numbers, they're our neighbors, your daughter's friend from school, the family of 4 next door. The Kroger Company's Zero Hunger, Zero Waste Foundation is committed to making fresh food accessible to all by ensuring it never goes to waste. Together, we can help end hunger. Learn more at zerohunger.zerowastefoundation.org.
Well, it certainly was a difficult weekend to be a Mountaineer fan. West Virginia's football team not only losing in its game at Baylor, but the WVU men's soccer team suffering its very first loss of the season. And then yesterday, the WVU women falling in double overtime at Kansas. As for the football team, West Virginia stumbles into this only bye week of the season with a 2-4 record after that loss against Baylor. WVU now all-time is 1-4 in games played in Waco. True freshman wide receiver Caden Prather made the start on Saturday. West Virginia has now had 8 players making their first start of the season. This season, 4 of those on offense. Sean Ryan caught West Virginia's lone touchdown pass of the game on its opening possession, his second TD catch of the season. And with that score, West Virginia has now found the end zone on their first offensive possession in 5 of 6 games this season. Red shirt kicker Casey Legg continues to stay perfect. He hit 2 field goals in the game. He has now made 10
consecutive field goals. First time that's happened for a Mountaineer kicker since Evan Staley did it back in 2018. And redshirt freshman quarterback Garrett Green scoring on a 13-yard touchdown run in the fourth quarter of play. For Green, he continues to have success running the football. He has now scored 4 rushing touchdowns on the season. As for the Mountaineers, time to think, time to regroup before they get ready for their next challenge coming up a week from Saturday at TCU. That is today's Mountaineer Report, brought to us by Kroger, the official grocer of WVU Athletics. I'm Tony Caridi on the Mountaineer Sports Network from Learfield.
AutomotiveMap.com presents the Sports Flash, powered by the Score app on the WatchdogNetwork.com. The Green Bay Packers defeated the Cincinnati Bengals 25-22 in overtime, dropping them to 3-2. Joe Burrow threw for 281 yards with 2 touchdowns, 1 long one to Jamar Chase in the second quarter. He also threw 2 interceptions. Joe Mixon had a rushing score for the Bengals. Chase 159 yards receiving. Mason Crosby, though, hit a 49-yard field goal for the Packers that won them the game after he had missed 3 field goals on the day. NASCAR, Kyle Larson taking the checkered flag Sunday in Charlotte, winning on the Roval, the combination of the oval and the road course. Larson overcame early electrical problems to win for the 7th time this season. He advances to round 3 of the playoffs. Kevin Harvick, Christopher Bell, William Byron, and Alex Bowman were all eliminated from the championship. For lightning fast updates as news happens, download the Score app today. I'm Tony Desiri on the WatchdogNetwork.com.
Don't mind me, just sneaking out to go to Kohl's. The home deals right now, they're too good to pass up. Like up to 40% off Cuddle Dad's bedding, up to 50% off the cutest fall decor, and up to 25% off Ninja kitchen appliances. How can I resist? You can even get 15% off, or 15, 20, or 30% off with a Kohl's card. So yeah, I'm going all in for fall, and I can't even wait. Select styles. Offers end October 17th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
I need tech that leaves my hands free during my work day and my workout.
It's possible with Staples Connect.
I need tech for my home office that makes it easier to work from home.
Also possible because Staples Connect has the innovative tech and tools you need to take on the future of work. And now Apple AirPods Pro are only $199. You save $50. Explore what's new at your local Staples store or staplesconnect.com. Staples Connect, the working and learning store. Ends 10/16, limit 2 while supplies last.
Are you or your loved ones facing a serious legal battle? The law office of Paul Harris wants you to know you aren't alone. Do you need someone that's not afraid to go to trial and fight for your rights? Attorney Paul Harris and his team are willing to go where most firms are not. The courtroom. With a successful track record in civil litigation, criminal defense, including tax issues and healthcare fraud, Harris Law Office will fight for their clients by offering the most aggressive representation in and out of court. Call Paul Harris at Harris Law Office for a free consultation. 304-232-5300.
Hey man, what can I get you?
Yeah, can I have 2 Coors Lights?
You got it. Hey Mike! I need 2 Coors Lights!
With a taste as cold as the Rockies, only Coors Light gives you refreshment every time.
Here you go.
Thanks, Mike. Doing a great job. All right, 2 ice-cold Coors Lights.
That's the coldest beer I've ever had.
Hey, they don't call it the world's most refreshing beer for nothing.
Okay, be honest with me. Do you really have the Rocky Mountains in your beer cooler?
You don't believe it? Check it out.
Man, that's pretty amazing.
I know, right? I can't believe it myself sometimes. I mean, this cooler is only 3 feet wide.
Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local 83 want to thank the owners and contractors of the Ohio Valley for using their locally trained workers to help build for the future. Local 83 helps design, fabricate, and build the gas infrastructure for the oil and gas industry here in the Ohio Valley. Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local 83 is 300 members strong and growing. They also do residential, commercial, and industrial work on both sides of the river. For more information, call Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local 83 at 304-233-4445.
$3.5 trillion. That's the cost of the reckless spending plan President Biden and the Washington extremists are rushing through Congress. Their socialist plan will bankrupt America and force West Virginia taxpayers to foot the bill for abortions, even painful late-term abortions. Thankfully, Senator Joe Manchin is standing strong, opposing this reckless spending spree and taxpayer-funded abortions. But Senator Manchin is under enormous pressure from Washington liberals to cave to their extreme agenda. Biden and Pelosi are intent on forcing West Virginians to pay for abortion on demand, even up to the moment of birth when babies can feel excruciating pain. West Virginians need to thank Manchin for standing strong. Call Senator Joe Manchin at 202-224-3954. Thank Manchin for opposing Biden and the socialists in Congress. Tell him to stand strong against their plan to bankrupt America and force West Virginians to pay for abortions. Paid for by Susan B. Anthony List.
Hi, it's Hoppy Kercheval inviting you to join me weekdays, 10 till noon for a statewide talk line. We talk about the big stories affecting us in West Virginia. We talk with top political figures, sports personalities, and sometimes just us folks talking, all offering our opinions on what's happening today. 10 till noon, right after the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe.
To receive on John Barleycorn, nicotine, and the temptations of Eve. No barking by the sewer sign, hot dogs, no razor broke, water dripping up the spout, but I don't care, let it all hang out. Hanging from a pine tree by my knees, sunshine through the shade, nobody knows what it's all about. It's too much, man, let it all hang out. Saw a man walking upside down, my TV's on the blink, made Galileo look like a Boy Scout. Sorry about that, let it all hang out.
Wade, I love you, man. You're in my era, you know? Keep up the good work Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. I'll pay off Lola $500,000, whatever, to get the hell out of here, and you can work for me. How's that? Lola, if you're listening, no, she's not listening. She's sleeping. If you're wondering, where is that young lady? All right? She's working with Howard in the morning. You know, we're the odd couple. How about that couple? Howard Monroe and Lola Miller. They're not Sonny and Cher. They're not Ozzie and Harriet. They could be June and Ward Cleaver from Leave It to Beaver. But hey, they work together real well. We all do here, okay? Wade's in for Lola for the week, and then I get her back next week. And we'll be back to normal, whatever normal is. Who did that song? Is there a name of the group? I forgot.
The Hombres.
Hombres. That was a one-hit wonder. Yeah. Listen to that song. Guy hanging upside down? Yeah. Bet you never heard that song till today, DJ.
No, you're probably right, Bill.
That was a big-time hit in 68. Oh, you don't remember 68. Hey, I got it. I got the two teams I want in the World Series.
Red Sox and?
Milwaukee.
Okay.
Because the Milwaukee Brewers used to be the Milwaukee Braves, who moved from Boston's Nickerson Field, which I played football on, by the way, same ground that Babe Ruth hit home runs. They went from Nickerson Field.
The Atlanta Braves.
Yeah, the Atlanta Braves, but they were also called Milwaukee Braves at one time.
Okay, there you go.
Way back when, like in the 50s, when the Braves were really cool with Aaron, Hank Aaron, Joe Torre, Frank Torre, Wes Covington. He was as big as a skyscraper and would hit baseballs a mile. All right?
So you want Atlanta?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
No, I want Milwaukee.
Okay.
But you know, if the Atlanta Braves play the Boston Red Sox, there's still some identity with Boston, the city of Boston, with the Braves. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's a whacked out idea, but you know me, I'm whacked out.
Well, because you know who the Brewers used to be?
Who?
The Seattle Pilots.
Oh, I forgot them.
Yeah.
You know who was an all-star in that Seattle team in 1970? Then he was traded to Boston?
Who's that?
I forgot.
Yeah, because the Braves were Boston,
It was
Milwaukee,
maybe it was
Atlanta, and then Seattle is the Milwaukee.
Might have been Tommy Harper. Because
okay.
he stole a lot of bases. He stole a few at Fenway, but he wasn't around very long.
He was the first base coach for a while too, I want to say.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm hopeful that Alex Cora will take care of his brother, who was just fired by the Pirates, which kind of upset me because Joey Cora was a gentleman and a half.
Hey, maybe he can get a job in Worcester near Shrewsbury.
Worcester, well, he's got minor league experience. What's the Worcester team called? What's their nicknames?
The Worcester Red Sox, or the Woo Sox.
Yeah. Isn't their stadium built like a miniature Fenway Park?
No, not so much.
Well, which one is is it the one down Lakeland?
Yeah, I mean, JetBlue definitely.
JetBlue?
In Fort Myers.
JetBlue, that's an airline.
Yeah, that's the name of the ballpark. It's in Fort Myers. It's their spring training facility. But yeah, it's pretty well a replica Fenway, from the monster to the triangle, the whole thing.
Yeah, okay. You know what? I guess they're going to let me, well, I don't care really about dropping the puck. I want to do that winding thing like Vegas. I don't care about that.
The siren.
Yeah, I want to do that. You know, I would go crazy, especially if I had a couple of drinks in me. Wow, I might be spinning all the way down the ice. But I have it on tape.
Game tomorrow night.
But I have it on tape.
That's right.
The trip to Iowa.
Yes.
You know? And
that's another game tomorrow night, though. You got Seattle and Vegas. You got the first ever game in Kraken history.
That's true. Oh, yeah.
At T-Mobile.
And your buddies, I should call him. Text me his number again, because for some reason I lose my texts after a couple of days.
Okay.
All right? By the way, when I talked to you and Army about trip to Iowa.
Yes.
All right? I talk to my priest once in a while. He tries to straighten my crazy mind out. And I said, I'm going to go to God's country. He goes, you really want to see God? I goes, oh, yeah. I'm going to Iowa. And he said, why are you going to Iowa? Well, I'm going to that cornfield because that's heaven. And he looked at me. I had to explain to him about the cornfield. Yeah, that'll be so cool. That might have been one of the most interesting things. I hope I'm living back then. When is that, March?
April.
I should still be around. I don't know. You know, I could be gone today. Spirit in the sky. Don't know where I'm going to go when I die. So if you have any money, send it to my family, will you?
There you go. But yeah, Everett should be flying from Seattle to Vegas today to get ready for their opener tomorrow.
Yeah. Is he still married? Because I got odds he's lasting 2 years with his wife.
That's last I checked. They were married, so they're still in good shape.
I got to meet this guy. If you say he's cool.
They come this way early in the year. I want to say they have a Columbus trip. I think it's maybe this weekend. I think they're in Columbus. We're in Fort Wayne, or else I'd go.
Yeah, text me his number, would you?
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know why I'm losing my text. You have any idea why after a couple of days I lose my text? What is that, Wade? Are you flying? What's that, a break? You want to take a break with DJ? He says, take a break, Bill. I got to listen to Wade. He's bigger than me. Not as fast, though. Hey, we got to take a break. That's all, folks. That's my impression. That's pretty good. What do you think, DJ?
I like it.
We do make mistakes, right?
On occasion.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm waiting for you to make the first one so I can rip you. We'll be right back with the DJ Abasella. Thank God there's only one like him.
This is Hoppy Kercheval. Join me weekdays at 10 o'clock right after the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe for Talk Line. I have guests, conversations, texts, phone calls on all the big stories affecting us in West Virginia. So tune in weekdays right here on FM 98.1 and FM 97.7, The Watchdog.
CA House Music has all the gear to make your music legendary. With all the best gear, including Fender, Epiphone, Yamaha, and more, CA House will have you rocking in no time. Get the most for your money with everyday low prices. And we meet or beat internet pricing. Play before you buy and let our product specialists help you pick out the instrument that's right for you. CA House Music, supporting local musicians since 1872. Play music for life.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Hey there, Dave Weekley here. Metro News Hotline presents what's trending in sports, music, movies, tech, television, and more from a Mountain State point of view. Renowned local and national guests pepper the daily lineup with authoritative insights and commentary on a wide variety of topics from West Virginia high school sports to the financial markets. Join the fun. Every day, Coop and I dip into irreverent discussions with calls, texts, tweets, the question of the day, and the always popular In or Out. Metro News Hotline, weekday afternoons from 3 until 5 on the Watchdog, WKKX and WVLY.
This is the sound of a popular American motorcycle. It's the sound of freedom, the open road, really good times. And this is what it sounds like with a drunk guy on it. How do you like the sound of that? Cops are cracking down on drunk motorcycle riders. If you ride drunk, you will get caught and you will get arrested. Drunk riding. Over the limit, under arrest. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Transportation.
Want to buy your own home but think you can't afford it? What if you got down payment assistance or a discounted interest rate just for being a recent college grad, teacher, nurse, or veteran? The Ohio Housing Finance Agency offers this and more, and our programs are always available for eligible Ohioans, big city, small town, and everywhere in between. Find out if you qualify at myohiohome.org. That's myohiohome.org. Home ownership, ready when you are.
I'm Josh from Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration. I hope you are staying healthy. We continue to respond to structural, fire, and water emergencies. We are combating COVID-19 with our highly trained staff and latest disinfection systems, providing preventative and reactive disinfection to facilities around the region, while working with area hospitals on isolation areas and air filtering. At Panhandle, we continue to follow social distancing and hygiene protocols. We are dedicated to our community, and together we will get through this.
Y'all niggas got me hot. Yeah. Nah, niggas got me hot. Yeah. Yeah. Said. Hey. Well, that's exactly where the nigga came from.
Well, Wade, you just lost your cheeseburger. I'm not bringing you a cheeseburger. I don't know what that song is. What was that?
Something from this decade.
Yeah.
Never Come Down.
By who?
Anderson .Paak.
Anderson .Paak?
P-A-A-K.
All right. Hey, DJ, you know there are a lot of stars out there that are Red Sox fans.
Yes, I do.
Mark Wahlberg, Matt
Yeah.
Damon, and the two guys on MLB, Sean Casey, and who was the guy that told the Yankees in 2004, you better hope we lose because we're going to come back and beat you. What was his
Kevin
name?
Millar. Gotta love Kevin Millar. Former Portland Sea Dog, too, actually.
Yeah, both of those, I had the pleasure of announcing their names at the Wild Things because they were our special guests.
You had Millar? Get out of town.
Yeah, Millar was an independent. He played an independent baseball league, like the Frontier League.
I love Millar. I'm a huge Millar fan.
Yeah. And I got a Sean Casey bobblehead when he was throwing out the first pitch a couple of weeks ago. I'll sell you one for $100.
I saw Millar play back in 96 or 97. He was actually he started in the Marlins organization, and this was before Portland became Boston affiliate. So he came up through the ranks with Portland on his way up to Florida, and then ultimately made his way to the Sox.
Yep. It was batting practice, I think Yankee Stadium or Fenway Park. The Red Sox were down 0-3, reaching elimination, and he was telling the Yankees in batting practice, man, you're in trouble if we win this game. And he was right. Greatest comeback of all time.
A less than stellar finish with the Blue Jays, and then did he end up with the Orioles at the end or no?
I don't know, but I like him as a broadcaster, and I think Sean Casey does a great job. Of course, he's from Western Pennsylvania. We're all great. You know what I mean?
Heck yeah.
I just made about a lot of people in West Virginia mad, but I'm well protected if I get to my car in the parking lot. Hey, listen, speaking of Mark, what's his name? Wahlberg.
Yeah.
Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
On this date in 1991, the #1 record was Good Vibrations, not by the Beach Boys, by Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. Marky Mark is Mark Wahlberg.
No way.
Yeah. And by the way, he spent some time in prison. Did you know that?
I think I did.
Yeah. He committed multiple racially charged assaults.
Wow.
See, you can be a bad guy and still be a good guy, right?
I guess you can.
I just want to be like you, a good guy. You're good to everybody. See, I can't do that. I can't be good to everybody, all right? I just can't be. I'll try, though. I'll try. And he's 50 today. He can't be 50. He is. Yeah, 50. Yeah, listen. No, that wasn't. That's his song that was there. He was born June 5th, 1971. So he's 50. He was born in Dorchester.
Yes.
You say it for me with the accent.
Dorchester.
Dorchester. And let's go to Fenway Park and get a grinder.
No, you got to get a Fenway Frank. Come on.
Oh, I've had a lot of those. I remember when they were like 50 cents.
Yes.
Every time I see the seats in the outfield, I think, I used to sit there every night for 50 cents. Now those seats are $15 and $20. Probably more now in the playoffs. You know?
That's just for the drinks.
Yeah, that's just for the cup, I think. I don't know. I have no idea.
There you go.
I have no idea. So, oh man, a lot of great memories. And I know Army thinks, if Tampa Bay may beat the Red Sox, that's true. But my postseason was made when they beat those darn Yankees.
Yes, mine too.
And Wade is shaking his fist at me. He'll get over it.
But we'll see. I mean, tonight's going to be interesting.
Yep.
They've got the momentum coming off of the long game yesterday. So if there was anything that could have helped Boston's cause, it was that.
Yeah. All right, so before we have a couple of minutes left, Penguins start tomorrow. That's unbelievable. In Tampa. They'll be there for the celebration. And then you'll be in Grand Rapids when? Or Fort Wayne, when?
Fort Wayne, yep. We'll have a home preseason game Friday, which actually tickets are $5 for that. And people can go right on to wheelingnailers.com to buy them. And then we'll be in Fort Wayne Saturday for a preseason game before next Saturday. We do it for real.
Okay. Wait a minute. $5 for a ticket anywhere?
Anywhere in for the preseason game.
A $5 ticket, that's less than a beer.
There you go. And well, it is Frosty Friday too, so you got that. So actually the beer will be cheaper than the $5 tickets will be.
So I could bring a friend or whatever, and a $20 bill, I get change back for the both of us.
There you go.
Best deal in Wheeling.
You can get 2 tickets and a lot of beverages.
Yeah, I got the schedule in front of me. A couple of those games on the weekend, I'll be working at the restaurant, so I'll keep the door open because I can hear your big mouth.
Perfect. That's what we like to hear.
I think they can hear your mouth in Bel Air,
Hey, you know what? It wouldn't be surprising.
DJ, I'm glad you can take it. You can have fun. You can shout it back at me. You're a really good person, a character guy. And I don't say that about too many people in the media.
Well, I thank you for everything you do for us. I know Derek's always, we're always talking about you, and
You won't be talking about me if you get off to a bad start. I'll rip you a brand new nostril. How's that?
That's perfect. No, but it's the fact that you follow, you pay attention, you care about us as much as you do.
Yeah.
That's perfect, and we want to make it a good time for you. So.
Well, I want to, I want to take care of the people in the area because, they want a parade. And if you win everything, Main Street should be in perfect shape for that fire truck with your big mouth announcing everything. How's that? I can see you on a fire truck.
All the way up at the top. I'll be yelling all the way from the top.
Well, yeah, then they'll hear you in Cleveland.
Perfect.
All right. Hey, thank you, man. We'll talk to you real soon. Keep in touch if anything happens.
You got it.
And tell those 2 youngins that when I met at the River City that didn't know you, I'm going to give them each a draft beer.
Okay.
How's that?
Bring in all the napkins they want.
Yeah, that's it. I'll get them a draft beer on Frosty Beer Night as we have at River City. Thank you, man.
Thanks, Phil.
Bye-bye. Really a cool guy. When I first met him, I goes, I don't know about this guy. I don't know. He talks too much. Then he's from New England. And we're going over fraps. That's what a milkshake is. We're going over, lobster, Harvard. We make fun of the way they talk up there. When I got up there, I got in a lot of fights my first week with the fraternity. Hey, what are you doing tonight? Yuns, where are you from? Whatever. Different languages, same country. Greatest country in the world. So let's enjoy the fact that we have our platforms. Thanks to the military and right moves, a lot of lives were lost in the wars, but that's my platform, speaking. I have that right here. I wouldn't have that right in other countries. If I rant in other countries, I go to jail or I get my car blown up. Wade, quarter pounder coming your way tomorrow. No pickles. Anything else? You want ketchup? How about French fries? Wade, although you're a Yankee fan and I'm a Red Sox fan, please, Wade, I'm on my knees. Can we be friends?
All right, Bill.
Okay, we won't go to war. Oh, that was a bad segue. Don't forget Lowell in the Morning with Howard. You talk about the odd couple. You better listen, though, because they're very entertaining and informative. Me, I'm out of here. 70. Route 70, here I come.
FM 98.1, AM 1600, WKKX, Wheeling.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.